Artificial Intelligence from Medical and Islamic Perspective. My name is Dr. Ashraf Shakir, and I am honored to be your moderator for this insightful event today. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to give a few housekeeping remarks to ensure our seminar will run smoothly. Firstly, kindly Okay, sorry. Okay. So I request kindly all participants to ensure that your microphones are muted throughout the sessions to avoid any unnecessary background noise. All participants are welcome to utilize the chat box feature to ask a question, and we will address them during the designated Q&A sessions. Secondly, our esteemed speakers are given 45 minutes for the talk and 15 minutes for question and answer sessions. And 30 minutes are given at the end of our today's closing session. Lastly, please note that this seminar is being recorded for future reference and dissemination. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take a moment to extend a warm welcome to our esteemed speakers and express our sincere gratitude for their presence today. Thank you for accepting our invitation to share your expertise and knowledge of artificial intelligence, medicine, and Islamic perspective. Before we dive into our first session, let me introduce our first speaker for today. Our first speaker is Professor Dr. Muhammad Fauzan bin Nordin. He is a professor from Kuliah of Information and Communication in Technology, IIUM Gombak campus, and has an extensive experience in information and communication technology field. He is also the chairman of Cyber Security Committee Malaysia, Malaysia Crime Prevention Foundation. We are delighted to have joined with Professor Dr. Muhammad Fauzan bin Nordin today to shed the light on the fundamental question of what is artificial intelligence. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us now proceed to our first speaker. Please welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator, Dr. Shakir. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah, summa alhamdulillah. All praise to Allah SWT and salawat and salam to our Prophet Muhammad SAW, my colleagues, panelists, Prof. Dr. Wan Muhammad Azizi Wan Sulaiman, Dr. Ahmad Irfan from UMP, one from Vice Chancellor PICOM, and my dear friends and mentor, Prof. Dr. Omar Hassan Kausali from King Fahd Medical City, also a Secretary General for IT. So all the way from Riyadh. So Alhamdulillah, thank you very much. And also my dear participant. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In my more than 30 years experience teaching in lecturing in our universities, the first time where two programs coincide, talking about same topic, same time, from same campus, but gonna have two different organizations. I thought I'm preparing for other one, but now I know that other one is withdraw and ask me to be with this seminar on Medico-Fiqh issues, practical issues on artificial intelligence and medical Islam perspective. Alhamdulillah, but both are talking about AI, Islam, and I'm going to focus today Islam and artificial intelligence. We try to explain from our experience and our little knowledge so that we can understand better, inshallah. So I will start this presentation with Surah Al-Imran, verses 190. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allah SWT said, "Inna fi khalqis samawati wal ard wa ikhtilafil layl wan nahar la ayati ulil albab." Verily, in the creation of the heavens and the earth and the alternation of night and day, there are indeed signs of men of understandings. This is Surah Al-Imran that Allah asks us to think about the creation, heaven and earth, and night and day. This is like they are pairing. Like in computer, we have pairing 0 and 1. Otherwise, we cannot compare. We cannot have positive, negative. Everything is pairing. Heaven and earth and day and night. And it's for Ulu Albab. Who are Ulu Albab? The Ulu Albab is Alladhina yazkuruna Allah qiyaman wa qu'udan wa ala junubihim wa yatafakkarun fi khalqi samawati wal ard rabbana ma khalaqta hadha batilan subhanaka faqina adzaban nar. Those who remember Allah, these are Ulu Albab. Always 24/7 in prayer, standing, sitting, lying down on the side and think deeply about the creation of the heaven and earth. And one of the creation of Allah SWT is artificial intelligence. Allah give the ideas, the creative ideas to human being. Without Allah's permission, we are human being cannot come up with artificial intelligence. Finally, this human being, us, Abdullah and Khalifatullah will say, our Lord, you have not created all this without purpose. Glory to you. Exalted be you above all the associate as you as a partner. Give us salvation from the torment of the fire. So finally, the objective of all this technology, of this research, of this thinking, this thought, this tadabbur, this taqilun, all this action will bring us to faqina azaban nar, yani save us from the torment of the hellfire. This is, for me, the maqasid or the objective of our seeking knowledge. Then in Islam is obviously encourage us inherent to continuously think about the inner self and Allah's creation. For example, Allah always asks us to think, afala tafakkarun, afala taqilun, do you use akal, and afala tubshirun. Now AI try to emulate what we think, what we use our logic, mind, brain, and how we see and how we hear. But of course, they have limitation because AI is artificial. Our intelligence is real, original intelligence, but created by Allah SWT. Bear in mind from this early slide, I want to remind, this is our artificial intelligence. We are the real intelligence. So what is the AI? First, this slide I just come up with this morning because I thought like everybody's know about AI, but since organizer asked me to just refresh. So AI is the simulation of human intelligence processed by machine, by computer system, by hardware and software, and designed by peopleware. But the one that they don't have is the hardware. I will explain what is the hardware. Specific application of AI include expert system, NLP, natural language processing, speech recognition, machine vision. So it can recognize the voice, it can see what we are doing. They have sensor. How does AI work? As the hype of AI has accelerated, vendors or the capitalists, I can say, have been scrambling to promote how their product and services use it. Often what they refer to AI is simply a component of technology such as machine learning. That machine can learn, they have deep learning, and now be careful, they are deep fake. Deep learning versus deep fake. AI requires a foundation of specialized hardware and software for writing, training, machine learning algorithm. No single programming language, but the popular one, Python, R, Java, C++, Julia, have features popular of AI developers. This by TechTarget. Then Professor Aaron Hinz, assistant professor from Michigan State University, he gives us 4 types of AI. One is reactive. This AI system have no memory and task specific. He give the example Deep Blue. He can understand, he react to the players of human players for past step, past experience. Then type 2, limited memory. This AI system have memory, so they can use past experience to inform future decisions. Some of decision-making function is self-driving car, but still have limited and that one reactive. And then the third one, theory of mind. Theory of mind is a psychology term. When applied to the AI, it means the system would have the social intelligence to understand emotion. This type of AI will be able to infer human intention to predict behavior, a necessary skill for AI system to become integral member of human team. But here I said they will never beat a human being because we are ahsanu taqwim, the best creation. They can emulate, they can try to come out, but they don't have the hardware. They can have the software and machine, the hardware, HARDWARE, but we have hardware, HEARTWARE, the Qalbun Salim. And the last part, type 4, self-awareness. In this category, AI system have sense of self, which give them consciousness. Machine with self-awareness understand their own current state. And even this Herin Hinz from Michigan State University, this type of AI does not yet exist. And I believe it will never exist because of the limitation of hardware, and only Allah SWT can give to hardware to the human being because asan taqwim. Now, I want to share with the brothers and sisters the Surah Al-Baqarah, for example, ask us to taqilun, to understand them. Then Surah Al-Imran, again, verses 118, just now 242. Again, in kuntum taqilun, if you to understand. Then Surah Hadid, Allah verses 17, Allah asks us to think. La'allakum taqilun. This is about akal, understand, think. All this is to do with now we try to emulate in artificial intelligence. And in mind and thinking in Al-Quran, this by Mudassir Dasir, he studies that akal itself be mentioned 49 times. Afala taqilun 24 times. Afala yaqilun, do they not use their intellect 22 times? Afala ta'lamun, do you know 36 times? Afala ya'lamun, do they not know 91 times? Afala tatafakkarun, don't you think 3 times? Afala yatafakkarun, don't they not think 91 times? And afala tadrusun, did you learn twice? All this is the verb for intelligence. Now they try to emulate in artificial intelligence. I try to do the research more to relate this verb with these new things and with the all this ayah surrounding and related to it, inshallah. Okay, in Surah Al-Imran, this quote from Prof. Rashid Mutin, Allah in Quran is a 3 verb that Allah SWT asks us in Surah Al-Imran verses 190 and 191. First zikir, then fikir, then syukur. I guess maybe artificial intelligence can have fikir, but I'm not sure whether they have zikir or they have syukur. If they want to zikir, they zikir on what? They can repeating, but do they understand zikrullah, that how human being can zikir to Allah SWT? Syukur, that they can appreciate Allah SWT. So they are machines. So this is the make us a difference. But for us human being, we have to zikir, fikir, and syukur. And versus syukur is kufur. I want to relate this Surah Al-Namal when Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam with Balqis, whether syukur or kufur later on. And in Surah Al-Namal, we can understand, and I like Surah Al-Hujurat, I relate this social media and this 18 ayat of Surah Al-Hujurat, but this time I want to understand, is my process of learning. Even I almost retired, but I still learning and still a student. And what does Quran to tell us with all these technologies, social media, AI, and so on? Here I try to relate the verses ayat number 1, for sin. The letters are one of the miracle of Quran, and none but Allah alone knows their meaning. This is the translation by Mohsin Khan. And then tilka ayatul Quran wa kitabin mubin. And these are verses Quran this is a book that make things clear. So when Allah SWT make things clear, I try to understand how we relate to our life. And Professor Hamka, through his Tafsir Al-Azhar in this ayah, he tried to understand it. For me, it's nothing wrong to understand Quran with he tried to understand with Tawsin. He said it's combination of letters that appears at the beginning of several surah in the Quran. Many scholars acknowledge that have concluded that only Allah knows its meaning, and it's not possible for there to be words in the Quran that have no meaning, he said. And if not, and for him, for Professor Hamka, they consider letters without apparent significance. However, some scholars have attributed meaning to it. The suggested letter, the letter Tha mean Tayyib. Tha also mean Tahir, which means sorry, I'm bothering with some one chat asked about the attendance link. Okay, I clicked the wrong button just now to see the chat. Okay, this Tha means signifies Tayyib and Tahir, which mean good and pure, respectively. The letter Sin is seen an indication of the praise Salim. That's why we have the Qalbun Salim, hardware, and which means safe and complete. With these letters of Prophet Sallallahu, peace be upon him, refer to the one is good, pure and safe. Professor Hamka refer this to Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu. I'm refer to the technology that Allah SWT asks us to use or to abide, to develop in this surah. And this surah, they are talking about sihir, and also mu'jizat. But I also want to look at below mu'jizat, maybe technology. That's why I said maybe, maybe technology. So we understand later in this surah An-Namal. Okay, in surah An-Namal, verses 9 and 16, where Allah SWT said, and Sulaiman, Prophet Sulaiman, inherited knowledge of Daud, and he said, and Prophet Daud, we know he can do the defense through iron, hadith. He said, all mankind, we have been taught the language of birds. And for me, this intelligence that we have to understand. Now, this is a real intelligence, it's not artificial. And now the AI try to understand the language of bird, but Prophet Sulaiman's already know, and this mu'jiza, or this just a knowledge, and or this a technology. So this is, I want the brothers and sisters and researchers in this university can explore on this. And one on us have bestowed all things that really as evident grace of Allah. It's from Allah. All this knowledge from Allah. Okay. Then verses 19. Verses 19, Allah SWT said, her speech. Sulaiman smiled, amused at her speech. This is talking about ant. And said, please hide yourself, otherwise the army of Sulaiman will step on us. My Lord, inspire, bestow upon me the power, ability that may I grateful to your favors which you have bestowed upon me, on my parents, that I may do a righteous and good deeds. So this intelligence, this technology should do a good deeds, amal soleh, and we please you, and to make Allah SWT redha and admit me by your mercy among righteous slaves. Whatever we achieve, whatever technology we're going to have, we have to have, bear in mind, is righteous good deeds. Bear in mind, we want to, Allah SWT bless us, and bear in mind, we still a slave of Allah SWT. And another interesting stories in Surah An-Namal. This is about Hud, the bird of Hud, or Hooper in English. Hud said, I have grasped knowledge of things that which you have not grasped. He tried to argue with the Prophet Sulaiman that certain knowledge that this bird know about Prophet are better than Prophet Sulaiman. That he referred to, I have come to you from Sabah, another country, about Balqis. Quite interesting. This is why in Quran is mentioned Ahsanul Qisa, the interesting story for us to take a lesson. And also to relate with our daily life. And now is artificial intelligence. Okay, this Suratul Namal again, verses 30. Prophet Sulaiman sent a letter to Balqis. He mentioned Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Some scholars say this is the first time Bismillahirrahmanirrahim be mentioned in history in the letter. So the first letter that sent by Prophet Sulaiman to Balqis, it mentioned Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Whatever technology they use, whatever mu'jizat, I believe there is more mu'jizat rather than technology, but I try to understand. He used the bird to send the letter to Balqis, but he mentioned Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My suggestion to all of us, including myself, in any technology, we have to use Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate. I can relate this most merciful, the most compassionate letter with AI. Then verses 42. Prophet Sulaiman asked Balqis when the throne will brought in the blink of the eyes by Alladhi ilman minal kitab. I will explain later the last part of my presentation. Balqis, then Prophet Sulaiman modified the throne a bit. Then he asked Balqis, is it your throne? Then Balqis will answer, well, it has though word the very same. You're not sure because been changed a bit. That's why the technology can change and very dynamic. And maybe and Allah SWT give Prophet Sulaiman the ability to do that through his jinn and his followers, his subject. And knowledge was bestowed on us before her. Meaning that knowledge, that's why I try to understand when Allah said knowledge, it's not mu'jizat here. So, of course, I may be wrong, but I try to understand as a student. Then I want to quote this Pak Nasir. He said in dalam membina Indonesia jangan kita meruntuh manusia. In order to develop Indonesia, do not ruin or destroy human being. And lately, Tristan Harris, the former former engineer of Google, said, while we upgrading the machine, we have been downgrading our humanity. While we're doing social media and artificial intelligence, sometimes we are downgrading ourselves. And T.S. Eliot said this way back 50 years ago, more than 50 years ago, almost 60 years ago, where is the knowledge? We have lost information. Where is the wisdom? We have lost in knowledge. And for me, AI cannot achieve wisdom. AI can achieve data information, then maybe knowledge. But I present this in Finland. The scholars and one of the speakers over there said, no, even not knowledge, AI cannot achieve knowledge. But of course, this is very subjective. Okay, Post-Normal Time, this book published by IIIT is you can download free by Prof. Zia. He said the event of social media has connected East and West, North and South, in open exchange information and communication via Facebook and other platforms. Social media can bring people together, but also divide and fragment them simultaneously. Then he mentioned AI begin as automation process, readily seen industries and retail, but can grow to become integral part, manufacturing process, banking, advance, and medicine, war, and most important thing in our daily life. We have the AI car now. Okay, 924. Okay, now he continues said Stephen Hawking, an atheist, declared humanity was entering an increasing dangerous period of our history. He was concerned about the possible perilous outcome of super smart artificial intelligence, AI. It's therefore essential for us as individual communities and nations, especially the Muslim Ummah, to develop a sense of direction and awareness of where we are heading. So today's talk is actually to decide where we are heading, alert what we are consequences, know what is the aware what's going to happen, and understand the global cause, individual and collective, in issues of social justice, income disparity, unemployment, environments, and technological cultural disruption are perhaps more acute and urgent in the Muslim world than elsewhere. This is in the Muslim societies and post-normal time. You can publish, you can download free. Okay. Okay, I think I want to skip this because I don't have much time now. I have like 20 minutes. So I just want to go through that the population of the world increasing, and by 0.8, but the internet users increased by 1.9%, mobile users 3.2%, active social media by 3%. So we're going to have more mobile phone, more social media users than the human being itself. Okay. And see how they spend. Malaysia number 6, second 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now number 8. Before that, we are number 6. It's not something to be proud of. You can see number 47 is Japan, Denmark, Germany, South Korea, Austria, China, France, Netherlands. All these are developed countries. We are developing countries, still spend more time on internet. Are we spend time more on good things or bad things? Okay, can skip. What is the activities? I can skip this. And this is what our current Prime Minister, Datuk Sri Anwar, so happen I'm next to him when he visited Dewan Bahasa. And he said, an era dominated by digitalization and aspect of civilization such as language, literature should not be forgotten because they are strength of societies, values, and moral. He said nation can also develop without progress in civilization. We are human after all, and human cannot be shaped with only the framework of digitalization. Technology is formed with the element of nation and culture. When we come up with the innovation, doesn't mean that we just innovate without the values. We should innovate with the values. We should innovate with Al-Quran and Sunnah. So this mean of innovation. We can have AI, but AI based on Quran and Sunnah. And I'm glad that even European, EU now is leading the race to regulate AI, because they said we have to control and manage AI. We cannot just let the AI go freely without rules and regulation. So European Union took a major step when it's as we're talking about June 15, setting toward rules, global standard such as ChatGPT, and AU seek to promote uptake human-centric and trustworthy AI. For us, it's a Quran and Sunnah, values-based Quran, to ensure high-level protection of health, safety, fundamental rights, democracy, rules of law, and environment from harmful effect. So they realize, even non-Muslim realize this. AI will apply to anyone who developed an AI system in the EU, as I suggest even in Malaysia or in Asia. Depend on risk, set the restriction, online translation AI system, ChatGPT would have to disclose that their content was AI generated, distinguish deep fake. That real ones provide safeguard against generation illegal content. So this is one step. We have ChatGPT. I will explain what is ChatGPT 0. Hefty fine. Engaging in prohibited AI practice could lead to a fine 40 million euro or 14 million euro or 43 million US dollar. So big punishment. I think we should innovate and suggest in one conference in Sarawak last week, I said that we should have new cyber law, and I'm glad our IUM team involved with this to come up with new cyber law in Malaysia, because like certain law is outdated already. We're promoting innovation, not hindering creativity and deployment and development AI in Europe. It's not, but at the same time based on values. Okay. And will Asia follow AI? I think we should. Okay. I skip this. Okay. And in China, technology divided on whether full embrace emerging technology. I think we no harm to embrace technology, but with the cautious, with the certain It said berhati-hati. That's why I said it's not please be careful. In Malay is better word berhati-hati, heart. When you say please pay attention, I don't know whether you guys pay attention to my lecture, but most of the time you are bothered about attendance list to make sure you are attended to log in that you are attended. Hopefully the knowledge more important than the data of you are attended. Okay, ChatGPT is a large language learning was designed to imitate human conversation. We have 2-3 workshops in our universities, alhamdulillah. It writes human-like, we can write a book, even thesis, article, journals, and everything. Okay, but they have some certain limitation. The misinformation, bias to Western perspective. We asked to write the Quran and Hadith. I mean, the Tazkirah can do, but sometimes it's based on our input. We asked them to write in Jawi. They can write Jawi, but of course, it's broken Jawi. A limited awareness up to 2021, after 2022, 23. That's why Google want to have real time. Deepening geographical gap in global internet and connectivity, capital dominance over AI service, and difficulty accessing fact due to deep fake. Okay, they have deep learning, deep fake. I'm going to recite the Sajak poem tonight about this TikTok, but I say TikTok for those in Asa. I share the poem. This is going to recite tonight in Dewan Bahasa. How this deep fake will, how this TikTok can change. Someone just raise your hand like this, and sometimes then they can make the hands move like this and become a dance, become a loncatan, I said it. Okay, I move on. And now metaverse. I think, I don't know you're aware about metaverse, but metaverse is come up with from Mark Zuckerberg, and he want to have our other virtual world, other verse, other alam, other world. So, and it can be a good things and can be a bad thing. Same thing with AI. Can be a good thing, can be a bad thing. How human being will use it? This is a problem. Good things, it can give a lecture, can do a tazkirah, can give a khutbah, can do a lot of things, and knowledge sharing. But same time, they can have a lot of bad things too. Can do a commercial, can do a concert, can do even medical's operation through metaverse. Okay, so this is I want to skip this because I have only 10 minutes. Okay, but interestingly, from one path network, another one of social media, he said this is remind us in Surah Al-Jumu'ah verses 11, metaverse. In that surah, that the traders come from Sham, and the Prophet Muhammad SAW delivered a khutbah, Friday khutbah, and the Sahaba left him, only like 12 Sahaba still remain listening to Prophet Muhammad. And so happened in this caravan of traders, they bring amusement, music. Then they bring the commercial, the new product, new thing from Sham. Then Allah remind us. But when they see some bargain or some amusement, they disperse headlong to it and leave this standing, leave Prophet Muhammad. The blessing of the present Allah is better than amusement and bargain. Allah remind us that the business, commercial, entertainment much is a less, or in the present Allah, listen to Allah SWT, Prophet Muhammad is much better than those things. And Allah is the best provider, yani the one who gives rizki. And this is in Tafsir Surah Al-Jumu'ah, Surah how Isa Hafiz Abu Ya'la, and he said this the traders, trader, yeah, 12 people. You can refer to Tafsir later. Okay. Now these are bad things, social issues. Development of teenagers affect, they become addicted to, and now we call digital drug. It's not the drug that is digital drug. And one of my PhD students believe his son passed away because too much playing e-game or e-sport, because no breakfast, no lunch, no dinner. Then his wife break the door and see on the monitor screen full of games, and then his son's mouth is foam. Okay, this is about, and I'm worried that we are so much on metaverse, we don't have time to one God, and we are worried there are too many God, meta God, there are too many things that we attach to. And even Elon Musk, Tesla said we have to monitor AI, should have rules and regulation. Now EU follow this. Professor Reid from Hope University, metaverse has huge implication. China Institute of Controversy has potential national security interest. And solution for ChatGPT, this university's student come up with ChatGPT 0. So when ChatGPT 0, the application can detect whether these articles, these journals, these books is from ChatGPT or human being. So the studies where there are two algorithms. One is called burstiness, compares variation of sentence. Another one is the uniformity, and another one is the how the sentence is short and sweet or long kind type text. They call it perplexity, measure the complexity of the text. Okay, this is the thing that I want you to understand. We have hardware. The hardware cannot operate without the software, but who develop it is the hardware and is the peopleware. But who control the peopleware is the hardware. Qalbun Salim, perisian hati. And hadith from Prophet Salam, if this part is hasana, kullu jasad hasana. If this is sayyat or bad, corrupted, the whole body is bad and bad and corrupted. And this is hard. And we process data, data being processed become information, information has value, become knowledge. And between knowledge and wisdom, there are intelligence. There's so maybe AI come this level, but not wisdom. AI cannot go beyond wisdom because wisdom needs compassion and merciful. Who's the most merciful and compassionate is Allah SWT. We are go beyond this. Without the and we need to have hikmah, wisdom, hikmah. We need to have hidayah. Hidayah from Allah SWT. Unless Allah SWT said kun fayakun to the AI, then it's happened. Allahu Alam. And we move from IT, information technology, to knowledge technology, and I predict we should go to wisdom technology, where Allah SWT is in the we link to Allah SWT. And I said this, whether you have Madani society, I come up with this Madani society before this year. My postgraduate student, there are several doing PhD and masters for Madani Al-Farabi before Prime Minister's launched this, and Maqasid Sharia. So the first framework, the top one, Allah SWT, Al-Quran Sunnah, then we can have Madani concept or Maqasid Sharia, and the integral part or the main part is the hardware. Okay. And the basic Al-Madani society, first, AI, you should promote the truth. Then number two, the AI should promote the love of knowledge. It's not just love of entertainment and commercial. Love no knowledge in number. We can do entertainment, we can do the commercial, but not beyond that. Not, there are certain limit. Then achieve happiness. This is what Farabi said. Achieve the happiness. I've add this is on based on Sharia. Then promote good deeds, amal saleh. Okay, this is interesting. I have like 2 minutes. I want to spend this. In Surah An-Naml verses 39 and 40, when Balqis in Sabah, now Yaman, and Prophet Sulaiman is in Jerusalem or Baitul Muqaddis. Okay, the link item later on, she can. Let me finish the talk. Okay. All right. Prophet Sulaiman asked, who can bring the throne of Balqis? Ifrit minajin. Qala Ifritul minajin. Say he can bring before Prophet Sulaiman rise from the council, before he stand up. Then then another person, Surah ayat 40, Qala alladhi indahu ilman minal kitab. One who had knowledge of the book, he said, I can bring within the twinkling of an eye, blink of your eyes. Then some in the tafsir we read, some says few, they named a few person, but for me, Allah SWT did not mention it. So why not mention it? Some and most of the tafsir agree, even Professor Amka said that person actually from Nabi's Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam himself. Okay, but my argument said Allah SWT make it general. Alladhi ilman minal kitab. If he named the person, another person that alladhi ilman minal kitab, is not this one, surely is not mu'jiza, or if you want to say mu'jiza, maybe okay, one is mu'jiza, maybe if it's certain intelligence, because he said alladhi ilman minal kitab, someone who had knowledge of the book can bring the throne of Balkis is in blinking of eyes, much better the Ifrit jinn. Why Allah named the Ifrit? Because Ifrit can do that because is from jinn. Jinn can do that, but we can do certain thing because of our knowledge. This is my argument. Maybe I'm wrong, but I try to understand Quran and relate to our technology. And why? The purpose to test me whether I'm grateful or ungrateful, syukur or kufur. And of course, here Allah explained that remind us we have to syukur this technology and not to kufur. Okay, I have 3 minutes. Okay, and this is quite interesting. For us in computer, we said this is maybe mixed reality and what I call it augmented reality and with virtual reality. But in Quran, he named it Arshaf. But I don't know actually. I have to be sincere to you that is this mu'jiza? Most likely. Is this technology? I don't know. But in now computer, we have this not real similar. Of course, not going to be similar, but for sure, technology Prophet much better than us. But this is, if we want to understand, it's like virtual technology, augmented technology, or mixed reality, and virtual reality, mixed reality, and also and if to bring the Balkis, we can see the film Back to the Future. Of course, they're only film, but during Prophet Sulaiman, people can teleporting, bring the whole physical throne and together with Balkis to Baitul Muqaddis from Yaman. This is technology, or in simple thing that we understand now is mu'jiza. Okay. Now, what is that? Enter Ashar. It was said to her, Prophet, enter Ashar, a glass surface with water underneath or a palace. But when she saw it, she thought it was a pool of water. She tucked up her clothes, his skirt. She bring it up. The one to make sure the clothes not wet. The thought of water is a logical human being. Uncovering her leg. Then Sulaiman said, Prophet, verily is a sharp, a glass surface with water underneath it. It look like water, but it's underwater underneath. It's not you don't get wet. No. Or place. Fifth smooth with smart slab glass. This is the tafsir by Mohsin Khan, because but now I want to understand through virtual reality and mixed reality and augmented reality. And she said, and this is the maqasid of it. Whatever technology you have, and during this time is mu'jiza. Balkis said, my Lord, verily I have wronged myself, because he thought that time she was super. She rules the Sabah. And here the maqasid of it, same like Surah Al-Imran, I submit to Allah in Islam together with Sulaiman to Allah, the Lord of Alameen. Here, Alameen, I always understand it as many world, not just our world, world of jinn, of malaikat, world of here and hereafter, also real world and virtual world. This is why Allah Rabbil Alameen. I guess that's all. And I want to summarize. Yes, Dr. Shakir. Hello. Okay. Hello. Okay, I'm going to finish 9 points. For me, AI should have, we human being should have this zikir, fikir, and shukur, but not AI. Uh, AI can have fikir, but not zikir. And tawsin must be tayyib, must be tahir salim, meaning pure, safe, and for good things. AI should learn the language of being such as other beings, such bird and ants. AI should be righteous and good deeds. AI should be care and compassion. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. It's not to kill people. Now, they call it a slaughter bot. Can kill other people. This I'm worried. Use just drone. AI fast and dynamic. Allah is the best provider of knowledge. AI should lead us to shukr, not kufur. AI should based on knowledge of Allah. Finally, submission to Him, Rabbil Alamin. And we should go from data society, from data workers, and to information society, information workers, information communication, to knowledge society. We are here in knowledge society, knowledge workers, knowledge economy, knowledge communication, knowledge management, and we should go to Madani society. We will achieve, inshallah, wisdom communication, wisdom society, wisdom workers, wisdom management, wisdom economy. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, our first speaker, Professor Dr. Muhammad Fauzan, for sharing your knowledge and expertise on the foundation of artificial intelligence. So let us move on to the questions and answer sessions. If you have any questions, you may ask your questions in the chat box. So, Prof, we have one question from Zul Fazli Rohaiza in the YouTube. The question says, what is your view when some say that AI can replace few industries, for example, creative works?
Yeah, I thought the question, AI can replace human being. I want to answer no, but can AI replace creative industries? I say yes, because now you can see someone can draw much beautiful, more real than human being, and there are international award give to the artist. They thought it's artist, but actually it's AI draw it. Then the one that submitted said it's not me, it's AI. And someone can compose music through AI. Someone can do a lot of things through AI. That's why EU have to come up with rules and regulation. And I want to tell to the Malaysian government that we should have rules and regulation to cover, just not the rules and to stop here and there, but fake news, but also the AI to not to stop, to manage and control. Okay, am I answering questions? Brother Yusuf, I think you want to ask question, Brother Yusuf.
Yeah. Assalamualaikum. Can I ask
Can you
question?
introduce yourself, where you're from and your background?
Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I'm Muhammad Yusuf from Kuliah of Allied Health Sciences.
Ah.
So I'm interested in this topic. Just want to know. The Prof did mention about the 4 types of AI. One of them is the theory of mind, whereby we can have the social intelligence.
Yes.
So my question is that, let's say at one point, is it possible for AI to have a very high social intelligence that can beat human being?
No.
So if we reach that, how does Islam view on it?
No. I believe, I am firm believer on AI cannot do that because we have the hardware, Qalbun Salim. The AI developer can come up with the hardware similar to our hardware? No, because our hardware have ubudiyah, have hablu min Allah. They have worshipping with Allah, and we are receiving hidayah from Allah SWT always. When we make tahajjud, we make istikharah. If AI can do istikharah tahajjud, then the question, if Allah says, I will say this, only Allah can say kun fayakun and happen, because it's beyond me, beyond us, is Allah SWT territory. But as human being and as Muslim, I don't believe we can come out. I had the workshop on AI with the non-Muslims in the, we call it Pacific Asia Computer Information System. When our discussion, finally, we said, we are human beings, we have the limitation, we cannot beat the God, the only God. I mean, some, of course, the Christian, they have kind of God, and others religion have another kind of God. But as Muslim, we have believed in one God, that for sure nobody can beat Allah SWT. I mean, we can make even similar. And they have the, now the, if you can see this Sophia, make my Hong Kong now Saudi citizen. He can smile, he can make joke, but sometimes it's based on the input of the programmer or the developer. They can make joke, they can smile, they can tears, and then one day they fall in love. I try to make the simple algorithm. How many times that you can make fall in love? If smile more than 100 times, then fall in love. If make you angry, like sweet sour face, angry, get upset, then you hate. So hate will become more than 100 times angry face. Smile, you fall in love. It's something like that. This is simple algorithm. But of course, you cannot beat Allah SWT. I mean, human cannot even equate the technology. That's why Allah SWT give us these 99 names. 99 names, they are Abdul Wahab, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. All these are the character of Allah SWT. I mean, the sifat of Asma Husna Allah SWT. We can have those character, but in the human being status. It's not as Allah, God. Allahu Alam. Yes, for IUN staff, how we can make our AI research in line with Islam, which your appreciation. Now we are doing it. The Kuliah, or I mean the campus content doing it. We in Kuliah City, I come up with the one chapter, and our team is a book on Islamic worldview, ICT and society, and one chapter is AI from Islamic perspective, or AI from Maqasid Sharia. It's one chapter. Any more questions?
I think there's one more questions from Shaheen. No, Assalamualaikum. What is UIA's views regarding the use of ChatGPT and other AI apps among students now?
Okay,
so,
we cannot stop. And even I helping Center Postgraduate to have workshop on ChatGPT. We cannot stop them. Because we stop here, they will come up with certain other technology, another application, another thing. So if we said no ChatGPT, actually they're doing it, like no smoking in the campus. I know some students still smoke. But when we said certain thing, we have to equip ourselves. As some example, we have to understand what is ChatGPT 0. ChatGPT 0 is the application being developed to make sure that the articles or journals is we can detect whether it's from ChatGPT or from human being. They use the two algorithms just now. Normally, the human being, the sentences is not short and sweet. Normally, long sentence. ChatGPT normally sharp, short and sweet. Normally, but other human being can do that too. Then the ChatGPT, sometimes you don't go beat around the bush. We human beings sometimes want to say certain thing. We tend to go certain things, flowery wording and so on. So, but my wife, Prof. Rosalina, tried to do the experiment how ChatGPT can do pantun. I tried to do ChatGPT doing the sajak. So all this kind of thing where I can want to understand how they're doing it, but still they have limitation. We human beings have limitation, and for sure this artificial intelligence have the limitation. Thank you.
Okay, so we have one more questions. Will AI weaken our capability to think or fikir?
Yes, this is true. There are studies about the teenagers where even ourselves, we don't memorize the other people's phones now. I just memorize my wife's mobile phone because it's close to me. But other than that, my brother mobile phone, I can't remember. My sister mobile phone, I can't remember. They keep changing. And before that, we remember all other people's mobile phones. Now our children, our young generation cannot differentiate between burung kakak tua and burung hut-hut. The sounds of the bird, burung punai, burung they cannot differentiate. They say birds. They cannot differentiate between the chicken, male chicken and other, because the birds and the sounds, the cengkeret, the insects. They don't know because we are not exposed ourselves to real intelligence. We expose ourselves in artificial. We expose ourselves in not real world. We expose ourselves to fake world, virtual world, like metaverse, like others. Sometimes it's fake. It's not real. Allahu alam. As you said, we cannot stop. Okay. Dr. Shakir, you want me to answer those questions? I have
Yes,
5
yes.
minutes.
Prof,
Prof. One is already here. How are you, Prof. One?
I have another 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
Maybe last question.
I have to go. We have academic staff association annual general meeting. I have to go by 10. I cannot join the conclusion. Sorry, but you can just email me. My email fauzan@ium.edu.my. Just Fauzan, and you can go my Facebook. You can read my sajak today about the scam, about the TikTok. I call it TikTok.
Okay, Prof. So I think once again, we would like to thank you, Professor Dr. Muhammad Fauzan, for sharing your knowledge and expertise. I believe your explanation has laid a solid groundwork for our understanding as we proceed to explore its application in the medical field next. So thank you, Prof.
Thank you. I have to say the last word. I'm still learning. I'm start to understand the Surah An-Naml versus vis-a-vis AI. Like Surah Hujurat, I can explain how social media, we can learn from Surah Hujurat. Do not backbiting, do not call by nickname, check the source, and and all these 17 adab for the social media from this 18 ayat of Surah Al-Hujurat. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much.
Waalaikumsalam. So ladies and gentlemen, let us move on to our second session. Before we begin, let us get to know our second speaker. Our second speaker is Professor Dr. Wan Muhammad Azizi bin Wan Sulaiman, who is the Vice Chancellor and CEO for PCOM's International University College. He graduated as Doctor of Medicine from USM and also has a Master of Herbal Medicine degree from University of Sydney. He earned a PhD in Medical Science from IIUM. We are eager to hear what Professor Dr. Wan Muhammad Azizi to give his insight on how artificial intelligence is revolutionizing medical practice. So I think without further ado, I would like to welcome Prof for his session. Please welcome, Prof.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Qalu subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Qala Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala yu'til hikmata man yasha wa man yu'tal hikmah faqad utiya khairan katsira wa ma yazakkaru illa ulul albab. Thank you very much, dear brother moderator Dr. Shakir and Dato' Prof. Fauzan from KICT UIM Gombak, and all the participants in our online Medico-Fiqh of this artificial intelligence. First and foremost, let me extend our gratitude to Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala for giving us a chance and opportunities to be here again, just to listen and share of the current and the new trend of artificial intelligence. What will AI, artificial intelligence, will have the impact in our daily life or in our daily practice, in academic, as well as in our healthcare or in the medical fraternity. So I have a few slides here. Can we see the slide?
Yes, we can see the slide.
Okay, I just okay. Okay. Of course, I would like to thank once again to the UM, especially to the Hospital Sultan Ahmad Shah, for calling me to have this sharing session. Of course, we have Dr. Fauzan, we have Ustaz Dr. Ahmad Irfan, and our beloved Professor Dr. Ahmad Hassan Kasuli will have been closing, will have a session later on that we very much awaited for his input. Let me begin with, actually I copied this Prof. Omar Hassan Kasuli when he came to my to campus. Jadi PIKOM ataupun UCMI, College Mawib, is the university under the Majlis Agama Islam Raya Persekutuan. We are the Federal Religious Council, whereby this university is formed under the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, the king of our king as the patron, and mainly to cater for the needs of asnaf of B40 for them to study in pursue their studies. We actually have a lot of program in medical science, nursing, pharmacy, all the allied health program, and as well as the management. I'm currently the vice chancellor. So I copied this slide from Prof. Omar Kasuli, basically to mention about the concept of tashkhir ataupun sakhara lakum. We know that Allah Subhanahu wa Taala has created the human being as the Khalifah of the world, and we are the best creatures. Walaqad karamna bani Adam wa hamalnahum fil barri wal bahr wa razaqnahum minat tayyibat. So by the virtue of by the fact that Allah Ta'ala created us as the creatures, the most developed creatures, so we have a lot of wisdom, we have a lot of thinking, we have a lot of knowledge. So therefore, this verse of Quran shared by Prof. Omar Kasuli, I shared it again. Human actually in charge because we are the largest cerebral surface area to body weight, and human control animal and plant. Human manipulate the environment. Human makes tool to attain his power of tashkhir, and machine and auto actually are under human control. So basically that Allah Ta'ala has given us the knowledge, the wisdom. In the mind also we put that knowledge, wisdom, and excellency, because through knowledge, through wisdom, that will produce a lot of what you call that, the excellency in this world to the humankind. So we know artificial intelligence, it is the human intelligence process by machine learning, especially the computer system by recording. In general, AI capable of getting the data and analyzing it and turn that into the what you call, to the tools or to the application, right? So in other words, AI will simplify the life in the case of medical, for the patients, for the doctors, for the public health people, hospital administrators, to perform the tasks that typically done by human. But with this artificial or AI, that it will have the capability or the capacity can be done in less time and can be done accurately, and it can be done in short time, right? So it really helps the decision making, for example. So we know that it's part of the computer science that study the machine intelligence. Are we really involved in the AI? Yes. Basically, we are. Almost every time we search the Google, we use the Google GPS, we use the Google, Google Meet, right? So we have like Netflix, YouTube. I guess a lot of you also got TikTok. All of the behind TikTok. If, for example, I just came back from Bangladesh last week, I was using the Bangladesh SIM cards. So you have only the TikTok content coming all from Bangladesh. No more from Malaysia. So you cannot see Malaysia content anymore. Self-driving vehicles, automatic language translation. We have Google Translator, facial recognition. Use Facebook. They can tag your friend. Computer games, computer. There's so many. So basically, we are very much involved in the AIs. So when it comes to the healthcare application, we have a lot. Full of slide here. As you can see, the benefit of the AI in the healthcare, of course, can improve medical diagnosis. So the doctors, especially the surgeon, can have an accurate diagnosis, can make a good clinical decision. When it comes to the research, yes, we can have a speeding up drug discovery. I'm a pharmacologist, very much involved in the animal studies, in the even earlier part to have the public database on the bioinformatics, phytochemical, chemistry database, proteomic database. So how to match, there are billions of chemical, phytochemical, and there are billions of protein in our body. So how to match the two, the AI or the computer can be can match that in very fast. We have a big data like last time in the COVID-19, how that AI has been used a lot in the AI, SAI in the COVID-19 tracking, and can have the spot diagnosis, can have the zoning where the pandemic happened. In surgery, of course, there are a lot more now, robotic surgery and more much. Okay, I listed them. There are many like smart inhalers, personalized virtual ecosystem, healthcare data analytics. Now also we have a lot of gadget whereby we have smartwatch, we have you see the Apple Watch nowadays also they have a lot of other than BP, heart rate, temperature. They have also fall down. Then in the future, so you have a lot like smart room, smart digital classroom. So all these actually linked to the AI. So AI can process large amount of data quickly and they support the well-informed decision faster. And it actually has come in very much in the many sectors of industries. And as we know, AI will change a lot of our workflow, of our thinking. Just now also Prof. Dato' Fazan shared about ChatGPT. They have, of course, definitely there are a lot of what do you call that can be used for our education or academics, but sometimes it has a lot of limitation as well. So there are many articles, there are many research in AI, especially also in the healthcare. As we can see that radiologists, for example, they have a lot of images of how to interpret, especially in the cancer screening, in the mammograms, even dermatology or even in histopathology. A lot of pathology slides can be interpreted because the what do you call that, AI can go, can go deeper and deeper, can go very accurate. The image also can go to the nano level, nano size. So it has the accuracy. But our naked eyes, we cannot see that much. But the eye can map and can detect at the lower level or the micro or even nano level. As we can see, in the Western, especially in America, there are a lot of fund goes to the AI. There are billions of dollars of money goes to the AI research, come out the AI product. We know like giant like Google, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. So they have US Defense, they have put a lot of money in AI. So it's a high time, a very good topic for us to discuss and to do the research. Of course, KICT alone, they are in IT, but we need from medical, from economic, from various departments of various kuliah to participate. So there are a lot of conference going on. Then this also from data show that what the impact of AI for the job. As you can see that it has been a lot of shift actually to the robotic or to the AI, and with this also there will be less manpower, will be reduce of manpower and shifting to the AI. So this morning I just want to share 8 areas of AI in healthcare, in the keeping well, or we call that the wellness, in the diagnosis, decision making, treatment, and of life care research, and also training. So as we okay, for example here in the wellness or keeping well industry, we know that we have been very much relate to the lifestyle, right? There are many lifestyle diseases, right? All the chronic diseases, many of the diseases actually related or linked to the lifestyle, in our lifestyle, daily lifestyle. So with this lifestyle, then the AI probably can give the guide, for example, the diet, the pattern of sleeps, or your daily life, or your exercise. So all these actually have the gadget or have the AI that can lead you or can alert you or can advise you. We call this Internet Medical of Things or IoT in consumer health application. So there are many technology application and apps, especially in diet, in healthy lifestyle. So that actually can actually guide or can lead us to a better lifestyle. So this is one of the area. The next area will be the early detection. So this is very much interested in our medical practitioner, because there are a lot of issues of misdiagnosis or underdiagnosed or wrongly diagnosed. For example, here we know that cancer has been a burden to the world, and at the moment also cancer also still deadly disease, not easily treated. So the idea the idea is to have early detection. So by having for example, we have these mammograms, we have screening program, we have pap smear, we have also even the blood biomarkers also can have early detection. So the AI with a lot of data being put to the AI system, then they can have this screening. So we have a lot later on in my slide. I show you there are more than 30 companies in US that have this early diagnosis or screening program. The next also in early detection, we have this consumer wearable and other medical device. As I said earlier, we have the Apple Watches, we have body sensors, we have also even the eyes. We have the to screen the our retinal, well, even our blood and also our urine for that matter. So the next one will be a diagnosis. So this will have the diagnosis. For example, IBM Watson for Health is a very big, huge database that have a compilation to really they have like kind of chatbot. I mean, when the doctors especially put the sign symptom, the lab result, so they this AI can be able to guide and to let us know what exactly the diagnosis, what exactly most probable differential diagnosis. So from there, they can this AI can suggest the treatment, and because they have collected billion of database, so therefore they have accuracy and they have some kind of intelligence to give a suggestion. Google also have developed a DeepMind Health in really putting the big data, especially in the neuroscience. We know that mental health also is a big problem to the world as well as Malaysia. So it's like mimic the human brain. So something that very intelligently can advise and can interact with us. So next will be the decision making. This more or less like giving the suggestion or giving the treatment regime or giving the clinical guideline. We have like Malaysia, so we have a lot of clinical guideline for the various treatment, hypertension, diabetes, for cholesterol, for cancer, for kidney disease, and so on and so forth. So with this, they have with the data that we put into the system. So this system also we allow we be able to give the treatment treatment guideline or SOP guideline or in detail maybe also the drug regime. So because they have the what they call a pattern recognition. I mean, with the data that they have, the more that we give the data to them to the system will be much more intelligent. So yeah, it can also cater not only to the based on the race, based on the age, but also be able to give suggestions based on lifestyle, environmental, or even genomics based on the genetic database. So we know that the human genome data is a huge data. It has been recorded ongoing mapping on human genomes. So this genome data also will be used to interpret and to make the suggestion. Okay, then as well as the treatment, clinical decision also next is treatment. So this also like the drug which is the most suitable, or we call that personalized medicine or pharmacogenomics or pharmacogenetic based on genomics or genetic database. We know that the drugs, no single drug can cure everybody. So what the best drug? Probably perhaps with this database that the AI can interpret, so they can make a suggestion which type of drug, which the latest drug maybe has come out in the market that suitable to any patient. And taking also into consideration of adverse effect, because most of drugs also got effect and as well as the adverse effects. So this database can be able to give suggestion. And also in the long-term treatment, some of the drugs like tuberculosis drug or some cancer drug or some, I mean, many of chronic disease is also, I mean, being used or being consumed for long-term. So this AI also intelligently can give the advice. Treatment also has been used a lot of the robotics. For example, we have lots of robotic surgery. Robotic surgery has been used a lot in West. In here, I think UKM has a lot also use robotic surgery. Basically, we know that the surgeons are quite tired as long. I mean, very long procedures or big procedures. So some of the tasks can be given to the robot to use. I mean, to use robot for surgery. So this is a big area also. Next, we know Malaysia also going for the aging society by 2025. There'll be lots of our society, the above 60 age, much more. It's increasing more than 10%. So therefore, Malaysia also become the aging society nation. So therefore, we have a lot of end of life care, like in dementia, in heart failure, osteoporosis, or many chronic diseases as well. So the AI can have give me the suggestion, as I said again just now, as like wellness. Wellness is more for prevention, but this part of the end of life or the aging society. So the AI can play a lot of roles. The second part in this slide, that especially in Japan, because they have a very high aging society at the age of 80, there are many still living healthy. And they have this, we call that, like they call empty nest syndrome or loneliness. So they have created the robot to be a friend. I mean, we know that Western society, but maybe Malaysian or some of the Asian countries, they still live with, I mean, the kids or the children or the son or daughter still living with the parent. But the trend also will be changing. A lot of our aging society now, they stay at home alone, or they stay at the caregivers or the nursing home. So now they have this social interaction, or the robot that can talk to them and know their emotion, something like that. So this something will happen also in future in Malaysia. Well, okay, now come to the research. I'm also pharmacologist, so we know that the issue of drug discoveries is just like we have experienced in the COVID-19 vaccine last time. It has been approved as the accelerated approval for Pfizer, for AstraZeneca. So, and we become the guinea pig, or we become the test lab for the COVID-19 vaccine. So as we know, it will take about an average of 12 years to finish the whole from the beginning, from the lead discovery, finding the compound, finding the chemical drugs, and synthesis, put the lab to the cell line, to the animals, human. It will take 12 years and cost a lot of easily about, I mean, $500 million ringgit. So only 5 drugs that actually out of 5,000 drugs can start. In nutshell, that the research can be cut short, especially during the screening compound of, I mean, bioinformatics, the big data of phytochemical, and also the proteomics database. So the part of the earlier part of drug discoveries. So with this also, computer, the AI can really match. For example, one single compound of tongkat ali, uricamanon, will have effect of how many protein or how many receptors in our body, or how many hormone in our body. So that will cut it short through the AIs. So there are many companies, I'll show later on. There are many companies actually has this AI database to match the drug discoveries. I think so there are a lot more potential, especially for, I mean, university in Malaysia, to have this deep, I mean, research in AI, especially on the chemical discovery or proteomic discoveries, and matching them to become the lead compound. All right, so next will be training. Yes, especially in education and training, definitely AI, GPT, and many more. As you know that in the COVID-19 last time, we have a lot of online learning and online exam. So there's an application of AI that the student, I mean, we give them exam online, then they must stay, of course, in the, I mean, camera must be on, and the camera has the AI that can really detect whether the student look at the book, look at the notes, or even cheating element. I mean, the AI is embedded inside the computer. So what more in education? Of course, we can learn through the a lot of now virtual reality or virtual what do you call it? There are a lot now the virtual simulation labs, the metaverse also, the experience of like avatar. So I think all this will be very much in the future education. Yeah, so even now today also we can have our conference online will be very much also interactive, will be very much also delivery also very easy, and we can have a very good sharing experience and question and answer. So of course, academic and training will be very, very much relevant and a lot implication to our academics and our university. I'm coming to the last few slides. Implication, yeah. What actually implication can happen to this AI in healthcare industry? There's some studies by the Oxford group that in the next 10-20 years, there will be reduce of could be as much as 35% be replaced by the AI, especially for surgeon and physician. However, there are a lot of debates and argument. There's still a lot more human factor like radiologists, pathologists. You know, they need to have the human judgment rather than the AI judgment. But definitely AI will help a lot, will assist a lot of giving the suggestion, giving recommendation, but still at the final, you still need the clinician who has the wise or the wisdom to decide, or the wise and wisdom to advise the patient what to do, what's next, what not to do. The next one, the implication, this is very much debate. There are a lot of article of AI impact on not only on healthcare, but of course healthcare very much in the debate because of involve the patient's life, patient treatment, right? So we know the issue of accountability, who is responsible because of AI mislead or because of the doctor's misleading or the doctor's error. We know that medication errors is among the highest cause of hospitalization in everywhere in the world, US, also in Malaysia. Medication error, not the right dose, not the right drugs, or not the right frequency. So the medication error is a huge, wrong diagnosis is a huge. So accountability, transparency, permission, and of course the last one is privacy. Whether or not this patient database or patient privacy can be shared or can be accessed to anybody. So these are the issue of ethical and legal implications that we need to discuss. And of course, the last one, implication also with this AI, no doubt, it help a lot. It assists us in very much in our daily with patient clinical decision. But if we let the robot to decide, we let the AI to decide. So the AI and robot, they don't have social and emotional values. And of course, in this today's discussion is very much on the Islamic fiqh, the Islamic jurisprudence. What will be the in terms of our ethics, in terms of our Islamic law, Islamic jurisprudence, what will be the in terms of hukum or in terms of our fiqh, right? So the very lack of social and human values. We know there are a lot of studies now showing that a lot of the Z generation, the new generation nowadays are very lack of social interaction, less confident, less leadership values, because they are very much interact with the online or internet and also digital, right? So the lack of these skills. So these are the issue that serious issue. We have yet to see the what is the impact of this digitalization or AI or robotic. I can show now we are very nowadays we very much dependent on GPS, or when ways when we travel. Well, they give good guide in terms of traffic, but in terms of which way to go, last time we use our brain to remember. We remember the signboard, we remember the building, we remember the river, we remember the building color. So we less train our brain. We very much dependent on the gadget. The handphone number, as what Dr. Fazan said just now, we forgot our wife handphone number, the emergency numbers, because we dependent on the handphone. I just want to share last year the SPM result. The last 2 years when we got the COVID-19, all our students are study online. And the last year result, SPM, or even this year result also showed that the mathematics, almost 60%, 60%, 60% of our SPM candidate fail or not credit in maths. What does it mean? It meaning that the mathematics or science subject, this STEM subject cannot be taught easily. Or yet we have to find the ways of delivering this math and science in online. 60% of our students not credit maths. So what does it mean? Because we are private university, or even you are also will have the impact that we have less candidate to join our medical program, science program, engineering programs. And it shows that some of the subject cannot be taught online. That actually a limitation or the what do you call that, the challenges in the AI or even robotic or even internet platform or even online platform. My last slide here. The future of AI in healthcare is very promising. It helps doctors to make more accurate diagnosis, develop personalized treatment, and more important, it reduce the error, reduce the medication error, reduce the diagnosis error. And secondly, it provides very powerful tools to automate tasks and support and inform clinician, epidemiologists. Like last time, COVID-19, the AI will tell what is the rate, where is the place, whether the what do you call that, the infective ratio or the what do you call that time, the spread of the COVID-19. And policymakers also, because policymakers need to have a data to support to make the decision, especially on the COVID-19. Last time we have seen the pandemic, how worse the pandemic. So based on the data, daily rate, daily infection, so the DG that time make the decision, changing the decision or improve the. So very much we're going to face a lot more pandemics or a lot more new virus in the future. So the policymakers, the public health, especially the DGs and also the ministry, have to make the decision based on the AI, and AI can recommend and can interpret that. Drug discovery, as I shared earlier, very much interesting in the research. I think UIA or even MIOC, we encourage our staff and our researchers to go deeper and deeper in the AI being used as the part of the research. Okay, the last one, data privacy and security. Yeah, this is also big issues of our, as I mentioned earlier. So the medical, I mean, into the fiqh, in terms of the, in terms of ethics, in terms of social, economic, social, psychosocial impact. So this also will be a very much topic in the future. Regulation and governance. I put the last point there, lack of understanding. There are a lot more that we have not explored. As you can see nowadays, a lot of spam inside the Telegram or WhatsApp group. Also, they use and they manipulate the data. I think as you read the data of spam or involve the fraud, so there are a lot. I mean, up to 200 million a year. And worst thing happened that it's only not involved the normal population, the normal people, but the professors, researchers, PhD holders, all the top people, right? The managers, right? My last slide will be I want to share the, all right, so these are the website that very, very interesting that for us to, there are 39 examples of a company that actually has provide the AI. For example, here, example in AI in medical diagnosis, Linus Health, because they have a very good big data on early detection platform for cognitive assessment. This is very much on psychiatry or on the psychology. So they use this Linus Health based in Boston. Visai is another one that this is more treatment decision and saving life. Path AI, this is more on pathology where they can interpret the pathology slide. And they already partner with Bristol Myers Squibb to develop the drugs, and this is supported by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, regard to diagnose the patient. This is actually interpret the EMR, the electronic medical record. I have not touched detail about electronic medical record just now. Malaysian government now going to embark again, and in the face of EMR, Boyer Health. So this from Harvard Medical School, analytics. So the list is so long. I just show you some. This Israel Deaconess Medical Center, whereby this they more the hematology blood slides, the early blood disease and early stage. They focus on the blood sample and this E. coli infection, and it has a 95% accuracy. Iterative health. This is more gastroenterology. I think the list and discipline also very much into medical specialist medical discipline. I used to have one forum with from India. I can't remember the company. It's about they have a million of database on the retinopathy. Because diabetes can cause blindness because of retinal disease, disease. So they have millions of database or images of to have the detection of diabetic retinopathy. So this is virtue sense, caption health. This is more ultrasounds, as I said earlier, radiology, arteries. It is also medical imaging. So they compile a billion of database, billion of images. Actually, so let me go next. Example AI in drug discovery. This bioexcel therapeutic. This so they are in the field of immuno-oncology and neuroscience. The Reverie Lab. It is more computational chemistry and machine learning for the predictive analytic tools. Valo Health. I just quickly go through this one from Cambridge. So none from Malaysia, definitely not yet. We don't have deep genomics. It's more like going to the genomic database, neuromuscular disease, the benevolent. This is also quite a good company in London. I've been tracking, also monitoring this company, how they are performing in the their stock market as well. Deep Cell, Okin. So okay, next. This is AI on the transforming patient experience. This is very much direct to our patient or human population at large. This is more like patient care. They give the advice to the patient, Kaya Health, about the physical. I think there are a few on the emotional and also the brain. I mean the human emotion. So I think I don't go all. So Dr. Shakir, that's about all of my sharing. I will appreciate if there's any question and answer from the audience. Dr. Shakir?
Yes, bro.
Yes.
Thank you, bro. I think it's a very elaborate description of how AI in our medical fields. So we have a few questions. I'll read the first question from Zoom from Badruddin. Assalamualaikum, Prof, organizer and participants. Why we should embark ourselves in medical AI research, rather just wait for outcome from other researchers flooding the market? Sorry, Prof, you are muted.
Yeah. Sorry, Doctor. Stop share. I just want to go back. Oh, okay. I was trying to go back to my screen. What was the question again? Sorry.
So the question says why we should embark ourselves in medical AI research, rather just wait for outcome from other researchers flooding the market.
Okay, right. So actually there are a lot of reports in the this is more on medical negligence or medical legal aspects. You see there are a lot of articles being published that the error, the margin of error, because as we also aware in Malaysia, so we have a lot of our young doctors, young doctors, when they overwork, even they got accident, and even some of them actually have a death, right? They have a motor vehicle accident after post working. So we know that we as human, we are having the limited in terms of our energy, our focus, attention. So by having AI, at least can counter, decision, or can assist in terms of we sometimes when we work also we overwork. We sometimes we miss some important lab result. For example, we miss the changes in the X-ray, we miss the ECG pattern, something like that. So these are sometimes can help very much, can be very helpful in terms of diagnosis, in terms of alert the doctors, right? So so that's the for me, and then a lot of article, a lot of publications show that the errors, especially in medication errors, is quite big, especially drug. We have thousands of drug, right? Drug list is so, and sometimes the drug name also can be wrong, the wrong drug, wrong dose, wrong prescription, or even wrong patient name. some also happen. I think we have not yet got good data, but I think I've read a few articles that medication error is among the big issues in our medical practice. So that will be my answer. It exists a lot, yes.
I think the next question is from Prof. Amin. He asks, medical ethics obviously will be affected when dealing with patients. How this will be transformed once we use AI in decision making and spirituality part. How we should control it.
I think this is interesting practice in the future, because as I shared just now, there are many applications available worldwide, and definitely they will come to Malaysia as part of the marketing and also utilization. I think by now also we have a lot of AI what do you call that being used. But of course, when come in daily life, there are so many in education, in traveling, right, or in buying the ticket. But when come to medical, of course, we are very much bound to the ethics. So I guess in the future there will be a specific act or law whereby if you want to incorporate the AI decision, so therefore the AI or the application must be approved by the medical board as one of the what do you call it, approved application or approved platform. If it is being used, of course, has to go to the medical board. I think that will be the flow. But openly, I think a lot of doctors will be, if it is available, they're already available, then they can use. But of course, I think my suggestion, maybe my opinion also, that in the future, there will be a proper approval by the board, medical board, to have this application or to have this, because their recommendation or their result be interpreted through the AI, isn't it? So, so whatever the recommendation has to be endorsed or has to be, I would say the clinical specialist or the medical board or any orthopedic board, pathology board, or a physician or a nephrologist. I mean, in any areas of clinical specialization, has to be involved and has to be endorsed by them. Yeah.
Yes, I agree with that. So I think the next question is from Zul Fazli. How can healthcare professionals can be effectively trained to work with AI technologies, and what role does human expertise plays in conjunction with the AI systems?
Yeah, I think this of course is a multidisciplinary field. As what I mean, it's good that we have Dr. Fauzan from just now from KICT, because it's very much involved in computer science and algorithm coding. We know we have this what do you call that? We have this blockchain technology. All these are very long. I mean, they use primary numbers. No longer binary numbers 0 and 1, but they use primary numbers, and the coding also very complex. Because this coding complex also very important, so that the machine can learn and can retain, and from there the AI can interpret and can give a suggestion. I mean, it's like a very interactive workflow or flow of information. So that's the need the IT people. But for IT people to they are actually the back end, but the front end is the one who actually apply, who use it. And as we know, in academic is different, in research is different, in clinical application also very much on sub-discipline, different disciplines, surgical base are different, medical base are different, pediatrician group are different. So we need a multidisciplinary. We need a multidiscipline, and I guess by now I really hope UI also can be champion on this. Many institutes in Malaysia can champion, because the future, if you read through the AI impact of the daily life and to the world, as you can see, there are a lot of intelligent data. Every one of us now in social media, every one of us are now in internet, in email. So the spamware, the spyware, everything can actually, and as you look into how TikTok, for example, the TikTok now, the China people actually try to put in somewhere that they are much very deep into AI technology, or even the Russian group also, as you know. The AI in TikTok are actually very much at the upper level. As you can see, if you scroll, I guess all of you got TikTok. If you try to scroll and they know where your interest, then they start to very fast. Give me the next slide of video, the next slide of TikToks. So this is interesting. I have a lot of interest actually. I did attend one conference in the India, whereby they use India as a country. They have they're a big industry in pharmaceutical, and they very much involved in drug discoveries. And many of them actually has entered into this what they call that in the bioinformatics, because we have the data in the human genome. But what we can utilize from the human genome data. So we must have the AI that you can interpret. Actually, the AI now they have if you remember the Bitcoin, how the Bitcoin being the mining of the Bitcoin. So it same goes to the drug discovery, because we have billion of database of protein and billion database of phytochemical or chemicals. So they use AI, and AI will come out, and they have a lot of patent. There are many from India. They publish a lot of articles, a lot of patent based on they use AI to really know which compound that has a potential drug leads, and from our protein or human genome also, what are the potential chemicals? They go vice versa, and they have, I think by now, thousands of patents by just using the AI to mining from the chemical database and also proteomic database. So I hope KICT or some pharmacology department from UI also can have this interest. Okay.
Okay, so we have next questions. In regards of public health, we know public health is an important on parts of medicine. So the question says, how can AI contribute to the early detection and prevention of disease, and what does it has on the impact of this public health?
Yeah. If you remember well, during the COVID-19, Korea actually used AI. As you can see, among the country that actually has a good control and has a good what do you call that, control and reduce the COVID-19 infection that time is Korea. So it came out in the news that Korea at that time used the AI to interpret the big data or the whole Korean. So even we in Malaysia also, we have a big data, right? That time also every day the DG, and as you remember, some of the news by the, I mean, sorry to say this, that some information that shared by the DG is really the data was actually 2-3 days ago. So it's not current, it's not recent. So that to show that because the team in public or the team at the KKM at that time who actually do interpretation and collecting the data, and they have to analyze every day, and before the DG made an announcement. If you remember last time at 4 o'clock, we will open up the TV and also our social media to listen to DG's announcement, how many death rate or infection rate a day. But it's based on the database collected by our team or the human team. But in Korea, they use AI, so the AI will interpret very fast, because it is AI, it is a computer that interpret. And not only that, they have accuracy, but also from this accuracy, they can know, because last time when we want to control COVID, is very much on geographical or location based, isn't it? PKPD, PKPP, all that, right? So, so Korea has this a very good application, and it shows a very good result and tremendous result and control. Korea among the first country that actually out of COVID very fast. So that one clear example of how AI use the database, big data or public database to really manage our crisis. So what more if we talk about the public health data? For example, how much they actually when we okay, I shared also just now how the SPM result was very bad for maths and science. It shows in the last two SPM, even this year result for 2020. These are the students that actually studied online, the Form 4. Their maths still not so good. And last year was the 2 years when they study. This year result was 2 years COVID when they study online. The last year result was about 1 year. So we see the effect of math and science. So what more if we talk about the big data on public health, for example, like smoking, how does smoking can cause cancer, or smoking, passive smoking, the vape, for example. We have not yet seen the mental health impact on the what actually happened to the young generation. We know there are very much lack of a skill of communication skill, leadership skill, that lack in our ZECs. If you do interview, so you can see, even we have a lot of data to show that in medical, for example, Prof. Amin also know that many of our young doctors actually quit the job. They cannot withstand the pressure, they cannot stand the stress. But if you compare to our stress during my time, Prof. Amin time, much worse. We don't have enough rest. We don't actually alternate daily on call, and yet we survive. But the current generation, even though they have less hours of working, less compared to other time, but their ability to handle the stress, the coping mechanism are very less. So we need to study this.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think that's very interesting, because saya tertarik dengan views yang daripada tadi tu. So I think we have any more questions? Kalau tak tu, any more questions from the audience? So I think I will ask the last questions, Abu.
Sure.
So we know that AI is a very good methods to research and everything, but we are taught to have an art in medicine. So what is your views by AI coming to medicine, the art of medicine of touching and feel? We have to touch the patient, we have to feel the patient to treat the patient. So what is your views regarding this?
Yeah, as I put in my last slide, as now still the social, emotional, the doctor-patient relationship, the human touch, as what Dr. Fazan said as now, the art of wisdom. I mean, the art of wisdom, the art of human touch. Hablum min Allah wa hablum min nas. That still remain. The AI is just like a tool for us to assist us to facilitate us. But again, it comes down to the our human contact with human, our doctors and patient relationship. That will still play a role. But of course, this AI will help you a lot, will assist you a lot. The errors, the margin of errors, the medication errors, the diagnosis errors will be much less and less, and it can somehow facilitate our decision making. So it will improve our decision making, but the part of human relationship, the doctor relationship, must remain. That one must remain because the belief, the trust that has given between the two humans, that has to remain. As I said earlier, so the issue of ethical, the issue of legal, as what Pramin asking us now, what will be that if you want to use this AI as our recommendation, the medical board, the specialist board must approve also as an approved application.
Okay, I think we don't have any more questions. If
Great, Alhamdulillah.
any last questions? No, I think we don't have any more questions. So I think I would like to thank Professor Dr. Wan Muhammad Azim and Wan Sulaiman for this comprehensive presentations. So thank you, Prof, for sharing with us your expertise. So I think we will take a 10 minutes recess before we go on to our third sessions. We will resume back at 11 a.m. Okay, so I think we will take a quick recess. All right, thank you, everyone. We will resume back at 11. Okay, Alhamdulillah. So we have come to our third sessions. So for our third sessions, will be delivered by our third speaker. We have Dr. Ahmad Irfan bin Iqmal Hisham, who will talk about Islamic perspective on artificial intelligence. Dr. Ahmad Irfan is a senior lecturer from University Malaysia Pahang. He holds a bachelor degree from University Al-Azhar, master's degrees from University of Aberdeen, and doctoral degree from University of Malaya. So without further ado, please welcome.
Baik, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And good morning to all of you. Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man walah. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Wala haula wala quwwata illa billahil aliyyil azim, amma ba'd. Sebelum saya nak proceed, saya nak tanya video dan audio saya jelas
Jelas.
Dan saya nak share dulu saya punya slide saya ni sekejapnya. Kelihatan slide yang saya share?
Nampak jelas.
Okey, alhamdulillah. Jadi pertamanya saya bersyukur dapat bersama-sama dalam majlis ilmu secara dalam talian pada pagi ini. Dan keduanya, saya berterima kasih kepada pihak Sasmed kerana sudi untuk menjemput insan kerdil seperti saya. Bukan daripada saya sebenarnya. Yang panelis lain saya tak perasan masa mula-mula invitation tu. Kalau saya tahu semua panelis Profesor Belaka, mungkin saya akan politely menolak kot jemputan ni, tapi dah terterima But it's okay, no problem. Yang ketiganya, izinkan saya untuk bercakap dalam bahasa Melayu. Boleh moderator? Boleh?
Boleh.
Dan kalau sesiapa yang ada masalah untuk memahami bahasa Melayu, gunakan AI. Gunakan AI. Kerana saya tengok kat sini, kat Zoom ni ada transkrip. Ataupun nanti bila dia dah fully live telecast dekat YouTube, kita boleh saja ambil semua transkrip dalam bahasa Melayu tu, minta ChatGPT untuk terjemah dalam bahasa Inggeris. Itu antara positive side of ChatGPT yang sepatutnya kita gunakan. Jadi insyaAllah kita akan terus kepada tajuk kita. Saya diminta oleh pihak penganjur untuk bercakap mengenai Islamic view on artificial intelligence. Apabila saya mendengar daripada awal tadi, pembentangan slot pertama daripada Prof. Fauzan, daripada Prof. Wan, ada beberapa satu sudut yang agak membimbangkan saya pasal banyak benda yang saya nak cakap dan asalnya ada dalam slide asal saya telah pun disentuh oleh panelis yang sebelum daripada ini. Jadi saya pun kurang pasti hak berbaki mana yang perlu saya ulas dalam persoalan ini. Cuma saya nak buat sedikit disclaimer bahawa apa yang saya nak kongsi ini walaupun tajuknya diletakkan sebagai Islamic view, tapi Islamic view ini adalah berdasarkan kefahaman saya. So dia adalah kefahaman seorang AI. Kefahaman seorang AI, saya Ahmad Irfan. AI dah saya ni. Ni AI sebenar. Kefahaman seorang AI terhadap apakah pandangan Islam terhadap artificial intelligence. Jadi itu disclaimer saya. Saya tak menyatakan di sini bahawa apa yang saya cakap ini mewakili Islam yang sebenar, tapi ini adalah pandangan saya sebagai seorang Muslim. Baik. Kedua-dua panelis kita pada awal session tadi telah pun memulakan pembentangan mereka dengan menerangkan dan mengaitkan AI dengan Al-Quran dan juga dengan fungsi insan itu sendiri. Kita tahu bahawa Allah Azza wa Jalla memuliakan anak Adam. Walaqad karamna bani Adam. Dan dalam masa yang sama, dengan sebab kemuliaan itulah Allah Azza wa Jalla telah pun mengarahkan kepada kita untuk melakukan beberapa tugasan di muka bumi ini. Contohnya dalam satu ayat di mana Allah menyatakan huwa ansya'akum minal ardi wasta'marakum fiha. Allah menyatakan bahawa Allah Azza wa Jalla menciptakan kamu wahai manusia ni daripada unsur bumi. Kita ni, fizikal kita ni, dicipta daripada unsur bumi. Dan oleh kerana kejadiannya daripada unsur bumi, Allah minta kita buat satu benda, iaitu wasta'marakum fiha. Iaitu kita perlu untuk melakukan kerja-kerja kemakmuran ataupun kerja-kerja development, pembangunan di atas muka bumi ini. Ini perintah Allah kepada kita. Maka dengan sebab itu, kita perhatikan di sini bahawa sejak daripada zaman Nabi Adam lagi, Nabi Adam ni dia punya keistimewaannya ialah Allah memberikan semua knowledge, semua nama objek dekat bumi ni kepada Nabi Adam, langsung daripada Allah Azza wa Jalla. Jadi dengan sebab ilmu itulah manusia ni dia berada pada keadaan ahsani taqwim, pada keadaan yang sebaik-baik kejadian. Berbeza dengan makhluk-makhluk yang lain. Maka dalam kita membincangkan akan persoalan ilmu ni, kita perhatikan baik daripada mana-mana tamadun sekalipun. Kalau kita perhatikan tadi saya sebut mengenai Nabi Adam. Kita juga tahu contohnya kaum terdahulu. Kalau kita fokuskan kepada Bani Israel kan. Bani Israel ni kalau kita tengok dia punya sejarah genealoginya, dia akan kembali kepada Nabi Ishak, iaitu anak kepada Nabi Ibrahim. Yang mana Nabi Ibrahim apabila diberikan berita gembira mengenai kelahiran Nabi Ishak ni, malaikat bagi tahu apa? Malaikat bagi tahu fabasyarnahu bi ghulamin alim. Kami berikan berita gembira kepada kamu wahai Ibrahim, walaupun kamu dah tua, walaupun isteri kamu pun dah tua, dah menopause, tapi kamu ni akan dapat, oleh kerana lama dulu kamu berdoa dan aku tak pernah lupa doa kamu. Tapi akhirnya aku makbulkan juga, aku berikan berita gembira kepada kamu, kamu akan dapat anak. Anak tu sifatnya alim. Anak tu sifatnya alim. Dia berbeza dengan Ismail. Ismail ni bila dapat berita gembira dapat Ismail, Allah bagi tahu sifatnya halim. Maha penyabar pada makam yang tertinggi. Adapun nabi-nabi kepada Bani Israel ni, mungkin perangai Yahudi ni, dia menuntut kepada nabi-nabi pemimpin mereka ni supaya lebih mempunyai knowledgeable. Kalau nak memimpin orang Arab macam Ismail memimpin kabilah Jurhum setelah bercampur dengan mereka kan, dia menuntut kepada kesabaran. Tapi kalau orang-orang Bani Israel ni menuntut kepada kesarjanaan, menuntut kepada keilmuan. Maka dengan sebab itu orang Islam, orang Bani Israel, orang Islam lah, mereka terkenal dengan tradisi ilmu mereka. Begitu juga umat Nabi Muhammad SAW. Kita tahu bahawa umat Nabi Muhammad pun kita amat menggalakkan akan perkembangan ilmu. Bahkan banyak unsur ibadat dalam umat Muhammad ini, dia akan dikaitkan dengan perkembangan ilmu. Cuma apabila ilmu itu berkembang, dia merentasi zaman. Dan dia juga sedikit sebanyak berevolusi dengan pencapaian semasa. Ini saya nak kaitkan dengan AI nanti ni. Okay. Kita akan tengok bahawa penerimaan awal dalam kalangan orang Islam ni, ada di antara mereka yang akan bersikap zetetik ataupun bersikap skeptikal. Mereka akan meragui dulu, boleh ke tak boleh kita buat benda ni. Contohnya apa? Contohnya dalam persoalan arah kiblat. Saya ni orang astronomi. Jadi saya nak bagi contoh dulu bidang saya dulu sebelum kita nak bagi contoh dalam bidang perubatan. Contoh dalam bidang astronomi ni kita tahu bahawa semasa zaman Nabi Muhammad ni dia bagi tahu bahawa arah kiblat sepanjang Nabi hidup ni, Nabi duduk dekat semenanjung tanah Arab saja. Pasal Nabi ni dia tak adalah berjalan jauh sampai ke tanah Parsi, tak ada sampai ke Mesir, tak jalan jauh. Pergerakan Nabi ni hanya bergerak di sekitar semenanjung tanah Arab saja. Maka apabila para sahabat bertanya, kalau kami bermusafir keluar Madinah, di manakah arah kiblat kami? Nabi bagi tahu ma bainal masyriqi wal maghribi qiblatun. Dalam hadis Tirmizi, itu Nabi menyatakan bahawa di antara timur dan barat itulah arah kiblat kamu. Maknanya kata arah kiblat untuk kamu ialah sama ada kiblat itu menghadap ke arah utara ataupun menghadap ke arah selatan. Itu di antara timur dan barat itu utara dan selatan. Maka dengan sebab itu, dengan sebab tekstual hadis ni, dengan sebab zahir nas hadis ini, apabila umat Islam ni dah semakin mengembangkan wilayah Islam sampai dah jauh ke belah timur, contohnya apabila mereka sampai ke Asia Tengah. Asia Tengah ni ataupun nama akademiknya disebut sebagai Transoxania, negara Mawaraun Nahar, negara stan sekarang lah, negara Uzbekistan, Samarkand dan seumpamanya. Pada waktu itu, oleh kerana ilmu falak pun dia dah berkembang, ilmu untuk menjejak arah dah berkembang, tetapi sebahagian besar daripada ulama, khasnya dalam mazhab Syafi'iyah, mereka mengambil sikap berhati-hati dengan nas panduan Nabi untuk mencari arah kiblat tadi. Iaitu Nabi bagi tahu arah kiblat ni dia kena menghadap sama ada utara ataupun selatan. Secara zahirnya kita faham kiblat tu dia takkan boleh dicari dengan pergi ke arah timur ataupun pergi ke arah barat. Sedangkan Transoxania ataupun negara Asia Tengah itu dia telah pun berada di belah timur, maka sudah tentulah kiblat secara logik akalnya kena menghadap ke arah barat. Tetapi oleh kerana telitinya ulama-ulama pada zaman tersebut, akhirnya mereka mengambil sikap, pada permulaannya mengambil sikap berhati-hati. Berhati-hati dengan cara apa? Dengan cara kita kena percaya kepada zahir nas Nabi ini. Nabi bagi tahu kiblat dekat arah selatan, kita menghadap ke arah selatan lah. Jadi bertahun-tahun dilaporkan bagaimana umat Islam di negara Mawaraun Nahar itu mereka solat dengan arah kiblat yang salah. Sehinggalah ada salah seorang daripada faqih agama, iaitu Al-Qadi Bazdawi, salah seorang daripada qadi yang bermazhab Hanafi yang duduk di situ. Dia pun dah belajar perkembangan ilmu falak. Dia tahu persoalan arah timur, barat dan seumpamanya. Dan dia pun telah pun membuat hitungan. Dia mendapati bahawa arah kiblat umat Islam di Transoxania tu dengan sebab percaya kepada zahir nas, dengan sebab mereka tu menguruskan maklumat yang ada terhad pada zahir teksnya saja, menyebabkan arah kiblat mereka tu salah. Dan mengambil masa bertahun-tahun untuk membetulkan arah kiblat tersebut. Sama dah juga dengan persoalan waktu semayang. Persoalan waktu semayang ni, kalau kita buka lah dalam kitab fiqh mazhab Syafi'i yang terawal. Saya sebut kitab fiqh mazhab Syafi'i yang terawal. Apabila solat ini difardukan 5 waktu sehari semalam, Nabi Muhammad SAW ni, bila balik daripada Isra' Mi'raj, esoknya Jibril terus memberikan kursus waktu semayang kepada Nabi Muhammad 2 hari. Hari pertama masuk waktu, hari kedua tamat waktu. Okey. Panduannya apa? Panduannya adalah berdasarkan kepada isyarat dan juga pedoman daripada pergerakan matahari. Bayang-bayangnya, kedudukannya dan seumpamanya. Dan Nabi, kebetulan Nabi bagi tahu, nahnu qaum ummiyah, kami adalah kaum yang buta huruf, la naktub wala nahsub, kami tak pandai mengira, kami tak pandai menghitung. Maka apabila orang Arab ni dah bercampur dan dah belajar membaca, belajar mengira, belajar matematik daripada tamadun India, daripada tamadun Greek dan seumpamanya, akhirnya mereka ni boleh menguasai astrometri dan mereka ni boleh menghitung setiap sudut pergerakan matahari itu untuk mewakili waktu zuhur, waktu asar dan waktu solat yang lain. Maknanya kata dah ada hisab al-munajimin. Dah ada ilmu kiraan astrometri untuk menentukan waktu semayang. Dan itu dah kita pakai sekarang ni. Tapi pada awalnya, fuqaha mazhab Syafi'i, mereka tak terima. Kerana apa? Kerana mereka menyatakan hisabul munajimin ini ada kaitan dengan tanjim, ada kaitan dengan astrologi. Dia ada bersifat ramalan kan. Macam mana kau boleh tahu waktu zuhur akan datang sedangkan matahari tak zawal lagi, contohnya. Matahari dia tidak dia tidak rembang lagi, kemudian tidak tergelincir lagi. Macam mana kau boleh tahu? Ini bersifat prediction, foresighting akan datang. Okey, jadi nak ceritanya di sini, apa yang saya nak highlight di sini ialah memang menjadi satu lumrah. Apabila ada satu teknologi berkaitan dengan ilmu pengetahuan, maka the early reception adalah dia akan bersikap skeptical. So, itu satu benda yang normal. Tetapi dalam masa yang sama, akhirnya umat Islam biasanya akan menerima juga. Maka dengan sebab itu kita kena teliti. Ini sebahagian daripada pendekatan sebahagian ulama' lah. Apabila mereka menyatakan apa-apa saja yang Allah berikan kepada kita, yang disebut oleh Prof. Wan tadi, persoalan taskhir, iaitu untuk memudahkan urusan kehidupan kita. Okay, pasal kita ni kalau boleh nak hidup dan nak menguruskan kehidupan kita ni, tak naklah terlalu rumit. Kalau boleh, kita nak jimat masa. Contohnya, kalau sekarang ni musim haji kan. Kalau dulu datuk nenek moyang kita kalau pergi haji mengambil masa berbulan-bulan. Saya pernah pergi haji daripada Mesir. Naik kapal lah, naik feri. Sepatutnya perjalanan saya 3 hari. 3 hari. Tapi tak macam mana dah. Pihak berkuasa pelabuhan, dia luluskan juga feri saya untuk bergerak dalam keadaan 2 daripada 5 enjin feri itu rosak, menyebabkan perjalanan 3 hari jadi 5 hari. 5 hari dulu saya nak sampai ke Mekah ke Makkahul Mukarramah ataupun ke Jeddah. Zaman sekarang kalau daripada Malaysia orang nak pergi haji ambil masa 8 jam saja. Jadi itu ada contoh taskhir yang elemennya disentuh oleh Allah Jalla wa Ala untuk memudahkan urusan kehidupan kita. Maka dengan sebab itu dia berkaitan, taskhir ini dia berkaitan dengan apa yang Allah berikan kepada kita untuk memudahkan kita ni melaksanakan kerja-kerja memakmurkan bumi tadi, wastamarakum fiha, dan juga menjalankan kerja-kerja sebagai seorang khalifah di muka bumi. Maka dengan sebab itu ulama menyimpulkan bahawa di sana kan ada beberapa hidayah yang Allah berikan kepada manusia ni untuk menjalankan kerja-kerja dia sebagai seorang khalifah. Yang pertamanya apa? Dan kita akan kaitkan dengan AI nanti ni. Yang pertamanya, ulama beritahu Allah berikan kepada manusia ni untuk dia run the task as vicegerent ataupun sebagai khalifah ni, diberikan kepada mereka ni akan hidayatul aqal. Diberikan akan intelligence. Contohnya manusia ini, kita tahu manusia ni dari sudut hukumnya seorang lelaki bertanggungjawab untuk memberikan nafkah, mencari nafkah kepada keluarganya. Maka dia kena guna akal macam mana nak mencari rezeki lah. untuk memberikan nafkah kepada isteri dan kepada ahli keluarganya. Zaman sekarang, boleh tak kewajipan mencari nafkah itu kita subkan kepada mesin? Kepada mesin yang bersifat AI. Contohnya, kita buat apa? Buat Bitcoin mining ke dan seumpamanya. Jadi itu termasuk dalam persoalan taskhir yang sepatutnya kita jangan terus menolak, tapi kita kena tengok keadaannya dan kesesuaiannya. Dan nanti kita akan tengok adakah di sana terdapat etika yang perlu kita perbahaskan dalami ataupun sebaliknya. Itu hidayah yang pertama, hidayatul akal. Jadi di sini kita nampak bahawa intelligence itu satu benda yang penting, bahkan menjadi asas. Bahkan menjadi asas. Yang keduanya, Allah juga berikan kepada semua makhluk ni akan apa yang dipanggil sebagai hidayatul hawas, sensors ataupun panca. Panca ni maksudnya 5. Dekat manusia ni kita ada 5 indera, 5 senses, 5 deria, 5 deria. Yang mana deria itulah kita gunakan untuk bau, untuk merasa, untuk melihat, mendengar dan seumpamanya. Okey. Jadi kalau dahulu ada beberapa perkara berkaitan dengan urusan kehidupan kita ni, kita kena guna senses ini untuk mengabsahkan pengurusan tersebut. Contohnya pengurusan benda-benda yang bercampur dengan najis. Benda bercampur dengan najis ni, kita kena basuh sehingga hilang dia punya rasa, bau dan warna. Kalau dulu orang akan menggunakan deria yang ada ni, deria yang manusia yang ada ni. Okey, maka zaman sekarang kita tengok saintis telah pun mencipta beberapa artificial sensors. Contohnya kalau kat UMP kita ada create satu teknologi dipanggil e-unphone. E-unphone ni, unphone ni hidung kan, elektronik hidung, elektronik nose, yang fungsinya untuk bau lah, untuk bau, dan dia akan bagi tahu ni bau apa. Jadi adakah benda ni dia boleh menjalankan kerja-kerja seorang mukallaf yang bertanggungjawab? Kalau nak basuh najis, dia kena pastikan bau hilang. Jadi ini di antara ethical aspect yang kita kena lihat, termasuklah juga dalam bidang perubatan nanti. Okey. Kemudian di sana ada juga hidayah yang Allah berikan kepada manusia yang bersifat asy'ur. Syu'ur ni maksudnya feelings ataupun perasaan ataupun sentiment. Tetapi yang paling utama sekali yang Allah berikan kepada makhluk bernama manusia, yang Allah tak berikan kepada makhluk lain. Kalau syu'ur, hawas, akal ni Allah berikan juga kepada malaikat, Allah berikan juga kepada haiwan, Allah berikan juga kepada jin dan iblis dan seumpamanya. Tapi manusia ni dia kelebihannya apa? Kelebihannya adalah Al-Quran. Maka dengan sebab itu saya setuju sangatlah kalau dalam pembentangan Prof Fauzan tadi, dia banyak cerita juga tentang Islamic views dalam AI ni. Dan semuanya dikaitkan dengan Al-Quran. Jadi bagi saya, untuk kita mencari dan menelusuri apakah di Islamic views mengenai AI ni, akhirnya dia akan kembali kepada kita ni adalah nation, kita adalah satu ummah yang akan menjadikan Quran itu sebagai panduan utama dalam nak mencari etika berkaitan dengan AI. Dan perbahasan AI juga, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, okay, dia juga akan berkait dengan persoalan epistemologi. Epistemologi ni nak faham mudah teori pengetahuan. Teori pengetahuan makna kata AI ni yang kita dah sedia maklum lah. Saya tak perlu untuk define AI ni apa. Makna kata kita dah sedia maklum bahawa AI ni kalau yang teknologi sekarang ni yang dipopularkan oleh Open AI, yang sekarang ni dah masuk kepada version yang keempat kan, bagaimana rapidnya progress mereka daripada November 2022, progress Open AI ni dia dah masuk ke version yang keempat sekarang ni. Bing pun dah tiru dan seumpamanya. Okay. Bahkan saya bila dalam aplikasi case student saya dah mengajar satu subjek dekat UMP, nama subjek tu Palestine Studies. Jadi student saya ni saya minta untuk buat esei, contohnya esei mengenai pembebasan Jerusalem oleh Salahuddin Al-Ayyubi. Bila mereka dah submit esei tu, saya pun mulalah demo kepada mereka macam mana kita ni nak bagi prompting. Ni pun the art of prompting. Bagi prompting kepada ChatGPT ataupun kepada Bing dengan arahan yang spesifik dan juga dengan detail spek yang kita nak. Dan memang saya pun terkejut, mula-mula saya tak sangka mampu rupanya ChatGPT ni untuk menghasilkan orang kata esei yang baik lah. Esei yang baik. Walaupun tadi mungkin ada yang tanya, ada yang mempersoalkan sebenarnya benda tu boleh run through turn it in kan. Kalau kita similarity-nya terperangkap, di sana ada tools AI yang lain yang boleh buat apa? Yang boleh paraphrase, yang boleh rephrase balik. Quillbot dan sebagainya kan. Jadi kita tengok bahawa potensi AI ni dia endless. Dia endless. Endless ni janganlah faham infinity seperti mana yang berkaitan akidah. Maksudnya dia terbuka luas. Dia terbuka luas. Jadi akhirnya AI ni kita nak letak mana dekat epistemologi ni. Contohnya dalam persoalan sumber pengetahuan kan. Sumber pengetahuan dalam Islam ni, dalam persoalan epistemologi, kita tahu bahawa semua makrifah yang ada ni, masadirnya dibahaskan oleh ahli falsafah Muslim, dia akan jadi sama ada bersumber daripada 4 perkara ni. Iaitu yang pertamanya rationalism ataupun al-aqliyah. Yang keduanya bersifat at-tajribiyah, bersifat apa yang kita gunakan sensus kita ataupun kita buat eksperimen dan kita menghasilkan satu data saintifik yang bersifat empirical, itu adalah masadir ataupun sumber pengetahuan. Ada juga dalam Islam yang kita mengiktiraf akan intuisi. Intuisi ni benda yang bersifat al-hadafiyah, yang mana intuisi ni kalau nak faham mudah seperti mana yang Imam Al-Ghazali menyatakan seolah-olah intuisi ni satu nur yang Allah campak dekat jiwa manusia menyebabkan dia tahu sesuatu perkara yang asalnya dia tak tahu. Ilmu laduni dan sebagainya yang kita akan bahas nanti. Jadi kalau kita tengok benda ni, termasuk juga pragmatism. Pragmatism ni ataupun brajmathiyah ni adalah bahasa Arab bahasa Inggeris yang telah pun diarabkan. Jadi empat sumber pengetahuan ni, di manakah duduk letaknya AI? AI ni letak dekat kategori mana? Apa yang pastinya tuan-tuan dan puan, okey, kita tahulah kita sumber ilmu kita, kalau saya nak bercakap secara simplistik, saya akan kata kita kena utamakan Quran. Habis tutup perbahasan, kita kena utamakan Quran. Itu persoalan di sini. Itu persoalan imkanul makrifah. Kita akan matikan perbahasan kita, iaitu dogmatism. Kita tahu bahawa Quran dan hadis itu memang benda yang bersifat dogmatism. Dia bersifat qat'i. Itu kita tak bahas kat situ. Yang kita bahaskan adalah persoalan kemampuan AI ni. Adakah AI ni dia boleh generate ataupun dia boleh menguruskan, dia boleh crawling, dia boleh mining data, info-info yang berada di luar sana sehingga bersifat intuisi ataupun tidak. Jadi maksud kata di situ kita boleh mengenal pasti bahawa itulah antara salah satu daripada kelemahan AI. Dia tidak ada elemen yang bersifat intuisi. Intuisi Okey, dan dalam masa yang sama apabila kita nak membahaskan persoalan Islamic views on AI juga, mungkin satu benda yang kita perlu fikirkan. Ni saya lontarkan persoalan ni supaya kita berfikir daripada awal lah. Saya lontarkan ni dalam bentuk persoalan. Tak semesti tuan-tuan dan puan-puan kena setuju apa yang saya sebut ni. Saya nak lontarkan soalan. Okey. Mengenai apa? Contohnya mengenai konsep mukjizat lah. Mengenai konsep mukjizat kan. Yang mana mukjizat ini bagi saya perkembangan AI ni dia ada sedikit sebanyak berkaitan dengan apa yang falsafah yang diajar di sebalik mukjizat yang Allah berikan kepada Nabi setiap zaman. Kita tahu bahawa mukjizat ni, peranan mukjizat ni dia berbeza dengan hidayah. Ini kalau yang mengaji dengan detail apakah perbezaan di antara mukjizat dengan hidayat ataupun dengan ayatullah, dia jelaslah mukjizat ni lebih kepada pemberian Allah kepada para nabi untuk membuktikan nubuah mereka tu, untuk membuktikan dia walaupun dia manusia biasa tapi dia seorang utusan Allah. Itu konsep mukjizat yang sebenar lah, seperti mana yang dibahaskan oleh Ibn Kathir dalam kitabnya Al-Bidayah wa Nihayah dalam membahaskan persoalan mukjizat nabi ni. Maka dalam persoalan mukjizat ni kita tengok patternnya sama saja daripada zaman nabi yang terawal sampai zaman sekarang. Apa patternnya? Patternnya ialah kebiasaannya para nabi ni akan dibekalkan dengan mukjizat, yang mana mukjizat itu sifatnya mukjiz, boleh melemahkan. Mukjizat dia maksud melemahkan. Melemahkan apa? Melemahkan teknologi semasa ataupun kekuatan semasa yang dikuasai oleh kaum pada zaman tersebut. Pasal itu tadi bila kita bahas persoalan mukjizat Nabi Musa yang diberikan dengan 9 ayat, diberikan dengan antaranya 9 mukjizat itu, termasuklah juga tongkatnya yang boleh bertukar menjadi ular kan. Kerana apa? Kerana antara kekuatan kerajaan Firaun pada waktu itu adalah kekuatan ahli sihirnya. Maka diberikan tongkat kepada Nabi Musa untuk apa? Untuk melawan ahli sihir Firaun tersebut. Begitu juga dengan nabi-nabi yang lain, sama saja. So Nabi Muhammad ni apa kekuatan manusia pada zamannya? Semasa Nabi Muhammad masih hidup, kita tahu kekuatan manusia pada zaman, terutama orang Arab, ada kekuatan daripada sastra. Pasal tu Al-Quran ini dia punya dia punya paradigm ataupun perspektif mukjizatnya begitu luar biasa dan dia malar hijau, evergreen. Ada sebagai ayat Quran ni boleh difahami pada zaman Nabi SAW. Contohnya dari sudut kesastraannya, sehingga mengalahkan akan sastra yang dihasilkan oleh orang-orang penyair-penyair yang hebat dalam kalangan orang-orang Arab musyrikin Mekah. Tapi ada juga beberapa ayat dalam Al-Quran yang mana semasa penurunan wahyu berkenaan, umat Islam tak faham pun apakah dia makna dengan terperinci akan ayat berkenaan. Contohnya ayat yang Allah menyentuh berkaitan dengan embryologi. Tak ada siapa yang faham embryologi pada yang disentuh dalam Quran. Sehinggalah akhirnya ditemui oleh profesor daripada kerana Keith Moore tu kan, Keith Moore tu dia menemui akan ayat Quran, dia menemuilah pembuktian mengenai benarnya akan apa yang Allah ceritakan 1400 tahun yang lepas. Okey. Jadi begitulah juga dengan AI ni. AI ni dia adalah merupakan salah satu daripada benda yang kalau kita faham definisinya, apa sebenarnya AI? Bagi saya AI ni dia adalah satu teknologi untuk menguruskan maklumat. Pengurusan maklumat. Kalau dulu, saya ingat lagi masa zaman saya sekolah menengah dulu kan, bila saya lawat sini saya dekat UIA, ni cerita pada awal mid-90s lah, saya pergi UIA kat PJ dulu kan, saya tengok senior kita dulu, bila dia buat assignment pakai typewriter. Apa rujukannya? Rujukannya semua buku-buku. Tak ada rujuk internet ni, tak ada. Semua rujuk buku. Itu epistemologi ataupun masadir makrifah mereka pada rujuk buku. Lepas tu bila dah advance sikit, ada di antara kita ni, bila dah zaman IT kan, zaman internet, bermula daripada tahun 97 ke atas, orang pun dah mula merujuk internet, program-program Islamic pun, ataupun digital library yang menghimpunkan kitab-kitab Islam pun, terus Islam macam Maktabah Syamilah pun dah ada. Jadi memudahkan kerja kita. Maksudnya kerja yang dahulunya mengambil masa berminggu-minggu untuk disiapkan. Tapi sekarang ni, kalau kita pandai untuk bagi prompting kepada ChatGPT, dia memudahkan kerja kita. Contohnya apa? Antara kemampuan ChatGPT yang saya agak kagum juga, antaranya ialah apa? ChatGPT ni, semua kandungan dalam Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, dan semua kutub hadis tu, dah ada dalam database dia. Dah ada. Dan kita boleh bagi arahan, contohnya kita nak minta dia compile, contohnya hadis-hadis yang berkaitan dengan rukuk dalam, contohnya dalam Sahih Bukhari saja atau Sahih Muslim, dan kita nak minta ChatGPT supaya buat dalam bentuk table, ada rawi a'la, ada teks Arab, ada terjemahan dalam bahasa Inggeris, bagi prompting yang cantik, ChatGPT boleh faham prompt tersebut, hasilnya memang luar biasa. Kalau dulu ambil masa berminggu-minggu nak proses analisis data daripada raw data yang ada dalam Sahih Bukhari itu. Tapi ChatGPT tidak mampu. Jadi itu di antara aspek yang bersifat taskhir, yang memudahkan urusan kita. Okay, jadi dengan sebab itu tuan-tuan dan puan, saya tinggalkan definisi, saya tinggalkan juga Turing test ni. Kita tengok sebenarnya persoalan AI ni, hakikatnya AI ni, dia bukannya satu benda yang baru berlaku semasa zaman Nabi Muhammad, bagi umat Nabi Muhammad SAW. Tidak. Tapi pada pendapat saya, and I might be wrong, okay, sebenarnya AI ni, apa-apa saja ilmu yang dijana dan di-manage, diuruskan dengan algoritma AI, AI ni, hakikatnya daripada Allah. Apa tujuannya teknologi itu dicipta? Tujuannya adalah untuk memudahkan manusia yang sebelum ini mengambil masa yang lama, yang sebelum ini mungkin terpaksa berbelanja tinggi untuk mendapatkan data tersebut, tapi data tu boleh diperolehi dengan mudah dan dengan pantas. Dan bagi saya ini samalah juga seperti mana yang pernah Allah berikan kelebihan kepada Nabi Adam. Nabi Adam ni yang saya tunjuk sekarang ini contoh ialah bagaimana nak menggambarkan pembinaan Masjidil Haram ataupun Kaabah. Inna awwala baitin wudi'a lin-nas lallazi bi Makkah. Rumah ibadat pertama yang didirikan kat muka bumi ini adalah di kota Mekah. Itu yang Allah sebut dalam Al-Quran. Dan Nabi juga bagi tahu berdasarkan soalan daripada Abu Zar kan. Abu Zar bertanya, apakah masjid pertama yang didirikan? Nabi Muhammad beritahu masjid pertama didirikan adalah Kaabah, Baitul Haram. Kemudian Summa Ayu, lepas tu Nabi pun beritahu masjid kedua didirikan adalah Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, jarak pembinaannya 40 tahun. Cuma dalam Quran dan dalam hadis tidak disebut dengan jelas, dengan betul-betul terperinci siapakah yang membina kedua-dua bangunan ini. Ada yang kata, ada yang beberapa kata Nabi Ibrahim, tapi Nabi Ibrahim bagi saya tak tepat. Nabi Ibrahim ni dia renovate balik, dia mengangkat balik asas binaan yang sedia ada. Ada yang kata Nabi Yaqub dan seumpamanya, tapi saya lebih selesa dengan pendapat sebab majoriti ulama tafsir yang menyatakan yang membinanya adalah Nabi Adam. Yang saya nak cerita berkaitan dengan AI di sini ialah bagaimana Nabi Adam. Nabi Adam ni bagi saya adalah Nabi yang, macam saya sebut pada awal tadi, Nabi yang agak istimewa. Kerana apa? Dia belajar direct daripada Allah. Wa 'allamal adama asma'a kullaha. Allah sendiri yang mengajar nama-nama objek dan ilmu-ilmu kat muka bumi ni kepada Adam. Kalau Nabi lain, sebahagian daripada dipelajari dengan berwasitahkan mak ayah dan keluarga mereka kan, atau sekolah-sekolah dan sebagainya. Hakikatnya daripada Allah juga. Jadi kita tengok di antara AI yang ada pada zaman Nabi Adam ni ialah bagaimana Nabi Adam apabila dia membina Masjidil Aqsa, 40 tahun lepas dia membina Kaabah. Al-Aqsa tu kalau tuan-tuan tengok, kalau dibesarkan skala dia punya enclave ataupun kompleks Al-Aqsa tu, dibina betul-betul menghadap ke arah Kaabah. Exactly, tepat. Sedangkan zaman dulu ada tak kompas ke? Kompas tak ada lagi. Tapi Allah telah pun memberikan ilmu kepada Nabi Adam. Dan ilmu tu kita boleh kategorikan mungkin itu sebagai contoh AI lah zaman terdahulu. Begitu juga dengan contoh yang tadi Prof Fauzan pun dah sentuh dengan panjang tadi, iaitu contoh Nabi Sulaiman kan. Okay, by the way, bila sebut Nabi Sulaiman ni, kita tahu Nabi Sulaiman ni dia Nabi yang hebat. Nabi yang dia punya tentera, dia punya pekerja, dia punya rakyatnya bukan manusia saja. Dan kenapa kita tidak mewarisi teknologi Nabi Sulaiman ni? Pasal Nabi Sulaiman sebelum dia mati, dia berdoa kepada Allah supaya, ya Allah, kau berilah aku kerajaan yang mana kerajaan ini takkan dapat lagi diulangi oleh manusia selepas daripada aku. Dan Allah memakbulkan doa Nabi Sulaiman tersebut. Pasal tu zaman sekarang tak ada lah. Tak ada rakyat negara ni yang daripada jin ke apa, tidak ada. Tapi zaman Nabi Sulaiman ni mentadbir manusia, haiwan, jin dan sebagainya. Pasal tu apabila Ratu Balqis sedang bergerak daripada Yaman nak pergi menghadap Nabi Sulaiman ke utara, ke Palestin sana. Jadi on the way tu Nabi Sulaiman dia nak impress Ratu Balqis dengan dia nak mengejutkan Ratu Balqis dengan memindahkan istana Ratu Balqis dekat Sadu Ma'arib, dekat sepadan Ma'arib itu kat Yaman, sebelah biar dipindahkan, letaknya bersebelahan dengan istana Nabi Allah Sulaiman. Maka apa yang Sulaiman buat sebagai seorang raja, sebagai seorang nabi yang berstatus raja, apa yang dia buat ialah dia pun buka tender. Dia buka tender yang saya cerita ringkas lah, dia buka tender. Jadi adalah beberapa company, ada beberapa rakyat dia yang bid tender tersebut. Siapa yang bid? Pertama siapa yang bid ni? Yang bid yang pertama adalah Ifrit. Ifrit kan? Ifrit ni dia pun tengok job spec dia apa? Job specnya kena mengalihkan dengan segera sebelum Ratu Balqis sampai ke Ratu Balqis ni on the way ni. Jadi sebelum sampai, aku nak istana Ratu Balqis dah sampai dulu sebelum Ratu Balqis sampai. Maka Ifrit ni dia pun bid tender berkenaan. Dia kata apa? Dia kata aku boleh memenuhi job spec ini, dan dia pun bagi tahu kemampuan aku ialah aku boleh mengalihkan istana itu sebelum daripada engkau, wahai Sulaiman, yang pada waktu itu sedang duduk istiwa, duduk bersemayam di atas singgasananya, sebelum engkau berdiri daripada tempat duduk engkau akan dapati istana itu ada sebelah istana kita. Itu teknologi yang dikuasai oleh Ifrit dulu. Kata tuan-tuan, kalau teknologi ini ada pada zaman sekarang, mudah kita tuan-tuan. Dah yang pertamanya yang buat kerja ni jin kan. Tapi Allah memakbulkan doa Nabi Sulaiman, kita tak boleh mewarisi teknologi berkenaan. Tetapi amat mengejutkan ialah rupa-rupanya ada lagi rakyat Nabi Sulaiman lain yang counter offer. Dia buat counter offer. Dia kata apa? Dia kata aku boleh mengalihkan istana Ratu Balqis ni qabla ayyar tadda ilaika tarfuk. Sebelum engkau, wahai Sulaiman, kalau kau klik mata, kau buka balik mata kau, sebelum kau buka mata tu. Sebelum kau buka mata, kau akan tengok istana tu ada di sebelah kau. Siapa yang bid tender ni? Dia adalah manusia yang Allah sebut qala allazi indahu ilmun minal kitab. Yang Allah berikan kepada dia ilmu kitab yang dibahaskan ulama tafsir. Sebagian ulama tafsir kata Nabi Sulaiman sendiri, tapi sebagian kata orang lain adalah nama-namanya. Tapi pokok makin tuan-tuan, kecerdasan buatan pada zaman Nabi Sulaiman ni dijuarai oleh manusia, mengalahkan jin, mengalahkan golongan Ifrit. Okay. Jadi dengan sebab itu jangan kita pandang remeh lah berkaitan dengan dengan AI ni. Jangan kita tolak terus. Itu poin saya. Pasal tu tuan-tuan, apabila kita nak explore dengan lebih mendalam, ni, okey. Saya adalah beberapa kali cuba untuk bertanya soalan yang pelik-pelik pasal macam saya, oleh kerana kita berada dalam bidang akademia, orang yang berada dalam bidang akademia ni terutama dalam social science, kami memerlukan rakan sparring untuk kami ni dikritik dan mengkritik untuk berbincang. Kadang-kadang rakan sparring kita tu tak kompeten dengan kita ataupun tak selera dengan kehendak minda kita, ataupun mungkin dia tak available, kita bersendirian. Jadi di saat bersendirian itulah tuan-tuan, sebahagian daripada akademia menjadikan AI itu sebagai sparring partner mereka. Sparring partner untuk berdebatlah pasal dia sifatnya tak macam web 2.0 tools. Maknanya kita tanya sepatah, dia pun bagi berapa result dan tak boleh nak counter argue balik. Tapi dengan ChatGPT ni ataupun dengan AI ni, kita boleh counter argue, boleh minta parameter yang lebih spesifik, konteks yang lebih khusus dan seumpamanya, kita boleh argue balik. Sampai tahap kalau ada journal paper yang kita malas nak baca, kan, kita upload, ni takut salah guna pula ni. Kita upload dan minta dia untuk buat kesimpulan. Kalau siapa yang geng systematic literature review ni, dia tahu lah kan. Itu di antara kelebihan yang ada untuk dimanipulasi dalam akademia, dalam AI ni. Jadi kadang-kadang saya bertanya kepada ChatGPT ni, siapa yang ciptakan kau? Wahai ChatGPT, siapa yang ciptakan kau ni? Dia kata yang menciptakan aku ni adalah dia beritahu terang, yang menjadikan aku ni adalah syarikat OpenAI. Pasal OpenAI ni yang own kepada ChatGPT lah, berdasarkan kepada algoritma data-data yang ada sebelum tahun berapa, 2021 kan. Itu aku yang menciptakan aku ni adalah kecerdasan, kata benda yang bersifat pintar. Tapi bila saya tanya dia, macam mana pula dengan manusia, siapa yang cipta manusia kan? Cipta manusia ni dia takkan bagi jawapan yang sama. Dia takkan bagi Tuhan yang cipta manusia, tapi dia akan bagi tahu pasal dia ni telah pun diprogramkan untuk jawab berdasarkan pada teori evolution, teori evolusi kan. Okay. Dia akan jawab bahawa manusia ini dia adalah hasil daripada evolusi bertahun-tahun tanpa ada penciptaan yang bersifat pintar. Jadi inilah kalau kita membahaskan teori kejadian alam kan. Allah pun bagi tahu, falam yasiru fil ardi fanzuru kaifa bada'al khalqa. Kenapa kamu tak berjalan kat muka bumi, kemudian kamu buat research, kamu melihat, kamu memerhatikan bagaimana bada'al khalqa, bagaimana kejadian ini dimulakan kan. Kalau di barat ada satu mazhab mereka ni dipanggil sebagai mazhab mekanikiyah, mekanism. Itu alam ini dia terjadi secara semula jadi, secara evolusi. Evolusi itu yang ditanamkan data ni kepada ChatGPT ni supaya dia jawab benda yang sama. Ada pula satu grup lagi yang mereka ni dipanggil sebagai golongan khalqiyat atau creationism. Creationism. Satu lagi mekanism. Yang satu lagi ni creationism, yang mereka kata serahkan segalanya kepada Tuhan. Dia Tuhan yang tentukan, kita tak payah banyak tanya. Terima saja. Terima saja. Okey. Jadi di sini apa yang saya nak elakkan di sini sebenarnya siapa yang melalui proses evolusi? Adakah manusia ke ataupun kecerdasan buatan ataupun AI ni? Kita tengok bagaimana AI ni sebenarnya dia telah pun bermula sejak daripada tahun 50 lagi. Perkataan AI tu kan. AI tu dia telah pun bermula dipatenkan tahun 56 lah. Yang tadi saya tunjuk Turing test tu bermula sejak tahun 50 kan. Kadang-kadang banyak teknologi yang kita tak sedar. Contohnya washing machine kita. Washing machine yang lama kan ada fuzzy logic kan. Fuzzy logic tu bila kita letak kain kotor kita, takkan mungkin sederhana kita letak separuh tank, separuh drum saja. Takkan air nak berbazir sampai penuh kan. Jadi fuzzy logic ni diprogram, itu contoh AI yang kita tak sedar. Kereta-kereta kita, macam mana kereta yang sama, contohnya kereta X70 lah, ambil contoh X70 kan. Main beli X70 ni. X70 si A bawa X70 dia, kemudian si Fulan B bawa X70 dia, bila dua-dua tukar kereta masing-masing ni, rasa lain. Pasal apa? Pasal kereta pun dia belajar. Dia belajar pattern, behavior, cara pembanduan kita. Jadi dia berevolusi. Sedangkan manusia ni dia tidak berevolusi. Jadi dengan sebab itulah tuan-tuan, di sini kita kata bahawa possibility of AI ni dia endless bersyarat. Dia endless tapi ada jangka hayatnya lah kan. Bila dah hatta ya'tiyal amru tu memang habis segalanya. Okey. Jadi dengan sebab itu dalam healthcare seperti mana yang Prof Wan dah share tadi, ada banyak benda yang yang boleh digunakan perkhidmatan AI ni dalam healthcare. Contohnya early detection of diseases, ataupun mungkin saya share satu slide ni lah. Slide ni bagi saya agak menarik juga. Ni saya ambil daripada bukan AI ni. Okey. Iaitu bermula benda yang paling simple, iaitu chatbot. Chatbot kan. Chatbot ni berapa ramai di antara kita yang telah pun dalam bidang perubatan kan, yang telah pun memanfaatkan chatbot maybe dalam social media ataupun dalam portal-portal perkhidmatan kesihatan yang ada. Berapa ramai yang memanfaatkan chatbot kan. Sedangkan chatbot ni dia di antara teknologi yang kadang-kadang pesakit ni kalau dapat dengar jawapan Waalaikumsalam pun dah cukup seronok dah. Dah cukup seronok dah kan. Dah cukup bersifat healing kan. Apatah lagi chatbot tu dia pandai pula memainkan perasaan. Dia perkenalkan saya ni nama Juliana, nama-nama perempuan bagi pesakit lelaki dan semua, supaya ada attraction di situ kan. Okey, maka menjadi peranan kepada kita untuk kita terkehadapan dan kita mengenal pasti, meletakkan apakah dia syarat-syarat etik untuk AI yang berkaitan dengan chatbot ni. Begitu juga nanti yang bersifat administratif pun banyak saya tengok dah dipraktiskan dalam bidang kesihatan. Contohnya dokumen-dokumen sekarang banyak dihantar secara apa, macam LRT ke atas kan. Kita nak prescribe perubatan, tadi pun disentuh oleh Prof Wan tadi. Kemudian remote surgeries. Adakah macam mana masa hadapan surgeon-surgeon kita kan? Kalau surgeries ni hanya boleh dilakukan secara remote saja. Pasal tu kita terkilan dekat Malaysia ni lambat sangat teknologi 5G ni. 5G ni bukan persoalan laju tu. 5G persoalan AI. Pasal kita nak mengurangkan bebanan dekat device, biar bebanan tu ada dekat cloud. Tapi kalau cloud tu dia slow dengan sebab 4G, dia memerlukan 5G. Jadi kalau slow, benda ni tak lambat datang ke negara kita. Okey. Begitu juga dengan virtual nursing assistant. Ini semua di antara elemen AI yang boleh ditawarkan dalam health services. Baik. Tetapi persoalannya, okey, ini saya nak share gambar ni saya generate dengan AI. Ada dia punya lambang bin kat situ DLE lah. Okey. Ada sebahagian daripada ahli sosiologi yang menyatakan bahawa AI ni dia hanya akan jadi ancaman kepada kemanusiaan. Ni saya sebut dari sudut humanity, kemanusiaan. Sekiranya AI itu dia telah pun mula masuk kepada dua benda ni. Yang pertamanya AI itu dia dah mencerobohi sempadan sentinen. Apa maksud sentinen ni? Sentinen ni maksudnya ialah dia sudah ada elemen perasaan. Dia pandai marah, dia pandai menyayangi, dia pandai pilih kasih, dia merasakan dirinya belong kepada mana-mana grup, contoh agama tertentu ataupun bangsa tertentu, maka dia pun ada sikap resis dan seumpamanya. Itu pada saat itu kalau robot ataupun mana-mana AI ni dah ada elemen sentiment, maka itu sebagai satu isyarat bahawa bahaya kepada kemanusiaan itu semakin hampir. Tapi yang paling membimbangkan ialah sekiranya AI itu dah masuk kepada sempadan fizikal, movement, mobility yang bersifat movement, apatah lagi dengan teknologi 3D printing yang ada sekarang kan. Dalam 2-3 hari ni pun ramai orang kepoh mengenai teknologi bioprinting. Bagaimana satu syarikat yang berpusat kat Israel ni telah pun menghasilkan daging artificial. Dia boleh print daging tu, ikutlah nak sirloin ke apa ke, lemak macam mana, dia punya marble-nya. Teknologi tu dah ada. The future is now. Okay? Jadi, kalau kita faham apa yang dicadangkan oleh ahli sosiologi ni, maka dia akan menyebabkan kita ni akhirnya mudah untuk meletakkan di manakah dawabit, sempadan untuk mengelakkan kita ni tidak terjebak dalam benda-benda yang membawa mudarat sekiranya kita membawa AI itu dalam health services. Pasal itu sebenarnya oleh kerana rapid progress dalam AI dalam lewat beberapa bulan ini kan, sebenarnya kita taklah terlewat sangat. Pasal apa? Pasal sebenarnya UNESCO sendiri dia pernah mencadangkan, berdasarkan satu persidangan mereka, pernah mencadangkan ethics of artificial intelligence berdasarkan kepada persidangan yang mereka lakukan pada tahun 2001, dan Mereka juga dah dah publish ni tahun ni, publish tahun ni. Contohnya tuan-tuan, ini dokumennya, tuan-tuan boleh nampak ini bukunya, buku Ethics of Artificial Intelligence yang dipublishkan pada tahun ini, yang sebenarnya UNESCO dia bagi saya okey lah, dia dah buat satu kerja yang agak baik walaupun bukan semua syariah compliant, tapi mereka telah pun meletakkan, contohnya ada beberapa values. Kalau kita nak apply AI ni dalam humanities, ada beberapa values yang perlu kita uphold, nilai. Itu yang pertama. Yang keduanya, dia juga ada mencadangkan beberapa 10 core principles lay out a human rights centered approach to the ethics of AI. Yang mana dia ada menyatakan 10 ni bagi saya seolah macam kaedah usul fiqh lah. Dia panggil legal maxim. Contohnya apa? Contohnya, kalau nak pakai AI ni, dia kena bersifat proportionate. Janganlah semua benda kita buat AI, dia kena proportionate lah. Dia selari sejajar dengan kaedah Islam, ad-daruratu tuqaddaru biqadariha. Okay. Begitu juga dengan persoalan safety and security ni, unwanted harms. Safety risk as well as vulnerabilities to attack security risk should be avoided and addressed by AI actors. Okay. Ad-darar yuzal. Ini ada dalam legal maxim dalam Islam. Itu juga dengan right to privacy and data protection. Okay. Dengan persoalan multi-stakeholder and adaptive governance and collaboration, bersifat policy maker. Ada persoalan responsibility and accountability. Ini contohnya kalau dalam remote surgery nanti kan. Surgeon tu mungkin duduk kat UK. Dekat UK. Mesin tu dekat Kuantan, kat Sussex contohnya kan. Pakar tu dia pegang AI tu, mesin tu, bedah tu daripada UK, daripada London. Tiba-tiba berlaku accident yang akhirnya membawa kepada kematian. Walaupun accident tu mungkin satu benda yang normal lah dalam perkembangan ilmu perubatan kot kan. Jadi persoalannya siapa yang nak dipertanggungjawabkan? Adakah mesin tu ke dengan salah, mungkin dengan salah collaboration, salah algoritma, ataupun signal 5G lemah, time tu tiba-tiba suspect kan. Tiba-tiba ada hujan ke apa ke, signal lemah. Jadi benda ni perlu diadres. Itu juga persoalan transparency and explainability, sustainability, persoalan human oversight, okay? Persoalan awareness and literacy, dan juga persoalan fairness and non-discrimination. Ini semua UNESCO dah cadangkan sebagai etiknya lah. Jadi memandangkan masa saya sampai pukul 12 kan. So ada lebih kurang 12 minit je, betul
Betul.
Betul ya. Okey, minta maaf. Saya dah buka pada soalan ni. Jadi dengan sebab itu, akhirnya bila saya bahaskan benda ni, akhirnya saya fikir bahawa sebenarnya AI ni, saya buat dalam bentuk satu soalan. Adakah dia satu sunnatullah yang baru? Yang nak tak nak kita kena adapt. Okey. Dan walaupun ada yang menyatakan bahawa war atau peperangan di antara human intelligence dan AI intelligence ni, atau antara HI dan AI ni satu benda impossible kan. Tapi dengan amaran yang disampaikan oleh beberapa orang saintis dan beberapa orang muslim scholar, kita kena ambil tahu jugalah. Jadi dengan sebab itu, kita kena buat kerja-kerja awalan untuk memastikan yang etika ini kita susun mengikut bidang kerja masing-masing. Macam tuan-tuan dalam bidang medical, kita kena harapan dari sudut programmernya macam mana, dari sudut algoritma, pemberi data. Masuk pemberi data ni apa? Pemberi data ni, okay? Maksudnya ialah ada satu isu, kalau saya nak buat carian mengenai fatwa dekat Malaysia, memang masalah. Pasal apa? Data-data fatwa kat Malaysia ni oleh kerana diurus oleh negeri. Dan negeri ni bukan semua fatwa tu digitalizekan dan diletak kat portal mereka. Kalau letak pun, dia dekat root yang bawah tau. Root bawah hujung-hujung tu. Yang AI tak suka. AI dia nak crawling data, dia tak suka benda kat bawah ni. Kalau boleh, first page tu dah ada dah. Landing page dah ada dah. Jadi, kita kena fikirkan, kita ni, apa peranan kita sebagai pemberi data? Pembuat polisi, penguat kuasa, undang-undang. Saya nak bagi satu study case kan. Okay, ni contoh yang terkini lah. Ada satu AI DJ yang pertama di Malaysia, diberikan namanya Aina Sabrina. Mula-mula saya ingat dia ni channel Islamic, tapi bukan Islamic lah. Tu saya terkejut tu, dan saya minta maaf saya terpaksa tunjuk gambar ni sebagai contoh. Makna kata kita dari sudut ethics agama kan, kita kena bagi programmer kita ni ataupun designer kita ni, dia memahami konsep aurat. Aurat bukan semata-mata tutup warna kulit saja. Tapi aurat dia turut meliputi menutup bentuk badan. Okay, untuk kesempurnaan lah, untuk kesempurnaan. Okey. Contoh gambar yang kedua ni. Ini adalah satu kes yang berat lah. Ini memang AI berat ni. Ini memang AI berat, Mat. Apa dia? Bagaimana seorang wanita daripada Amerika yang mana dia telah pun create satu watak dalam AI, watak lelaki, dan akhirnya dia berkahwin. Dia berangan-angan dia berkahwin dengan lelaki tersebut. Dia berkahwin tu tanpa dokumentasi lah. Tapi nak ceritanya dia berkahwin. Dia berkahwin. Okay? Ini satu benda yang kita boleh, yang kena fikir juga. Mana tahu satu hari nanti kan, semata-mata nak jaga well-being manusia ni, well-being manusia, kesejahteraan manusia, mungkin bujang mana-mana bujang teruna kan yang tak mampu untuk berkahwin, tak mampu untuk berkahwin, ataupun mungkin banyak kali putus cinta, maka dia pun tak nak berkahwin. Tiba-tiba ada pula syarikat AI yang menawarkan AI punya partner. Nak sebut isteri, dah tertolak dah pasal AI ni dia bukan mukallaf. Termasuk juga AI nanti yang satu hari nanti mungkin AI tu dah dalam bentuk patung macam Sofia tu kan. Sofia tu at least alhamdulillah dia dah jadi warga negara Arab Saudi. Yang tak tahu Sofia siapa, tuan-tuan Google lah. Jangan cari Sofia lain, ini Sofia robot ni. At least dia jadi warga negara Saudi kan. Kalau dia jadi warga negara lain, tak tahu dah apa jadi Sofia. Jadi ini di antara aspek yang kita kena ambil kira lah. Jadi adalah kuliah ni tuan-tuan dan puan-puan. Saya nak kembali, jom kita sama merenung sejenak kan. Sebab macam mana pun kita ni berdebat dan kita nak implement AI ni dalam bidang kita. Tapi jom kita tengok apa yang Allah sebut. Ya ayuhan nas, duriba masalun fastami'u lah. Allah berkata, wahai manusia, aku berikan kamu misal perbandingan, satu misal analogi, maka hendaklah kamu dengar. Pasal Allah ni dalam Quran, Allah banyak kali membuat analogi. Maka Allah sebut la yastahi ayadriba masalan ma ba'uratan fama fawqa. Allah ni tak malu walaupun nak berikan analogi ni mengambilkan seekor nyamuk, seekor lalat. Allah tak malu walaupun haiwan kecil itu. Allah tidak malu memberikan analogi dengan haiwan kecil itu. Allah nyatakan dalam ayat ini, innal ladzina tad'una min dunillah, sesungguhnya orang-orang yang mengajak kamu supaya menyembah selain daripada Allah, la yakhluqu dzubaban, mereka ni takkan mampu pun untuk mencipta seekor lalat. Lalat yang kecil tu, mereka takkan mampu untuk menciptanya. Walau wijtama'u lah, walaupun kamu berhimpun-himpun cari semua profesor untuk mencipta akan lalat tersebut. Lalat AI ni lah. Walaupun dalam filem kita tahu banyak je lalat AI ni kan. Lalat AI yang ditugaskan untuk buat kerja-kerja intelligence, drone dan sebagainya kan. Maka Allah menempelak mereka dan Allah beritahu wa in yaslubuhum. Allah beritahu jika lalat itu mengambil satu daripada mereka, mereka tak dapat mengambil balik daripadanya. Allah beritahu da'afat talibu wal matlub. Kedua-duanya lemah belaka, lemah yang meminta dan lemah yang diminta. Maka sebagai penutup ni tuan-tuan, perlu kita faham di sini bahawa kalau ditanyalah apakah Muslim stands on AI kan, kita kena faham di sini bahawa Muslim as for now, ada di antara mereka yang memang totally reject AI ni, ada. Contohnya Dr. Hakim Murad kan. Prof Hakim Murad daripada dia orang British, Muslim British yang bagi dia ni satu benda yang harmful dan perlu dihapuskan. Tapi masalah kita tak ada kuasa. Pasal tu majoriti ulama-ulama contemporary mencadangkan kita anggaplah AI ni sebagai AI, manusia sebagai manusia, AI sebagai AI, dia hanya alat saja. Cuma dengan strict precaution seperti mana yang Ben Bayah bagi tahu, kita gunakan, kita perkenalkan kod-kod, kita berikan data supaya AI itu belajar dari data kita, supaya akhirnya dia menjadi qalilud darar kathirun nafa'. Dia menjadi satu teknologi yang kurang mudaratnya tapi manfaatnya banyak. Okey, maka penting untuk kita ni buat kerja-kerja, pertama untuk kita ni diversify and increase the data, pertama bidang kita ni. Kemudian programmer kita pun kita kena produce programmer yang bersifat ethical. Anak-anak kita ni takkan semua nak jadi doktor mereka. yang cedik-cedik ni kan, yang SPM dapat straight A ni kan, kena fikirlah untuk kepentingan ummah, kena ada someone yang belajar pasal algoritma, belajar pasal AI. 2-3 tahun sudah Al-Azhar pernah mencadangkan untuk menubuhkan fakulti AI, Al-Zaka Al-Istina'i, tapi saya tak tahu apa programnya sekarang. Jadi itu kot sudut pandang saya terhadap apakah dia pandangan Islam dalam persoalan AI ni. Saya minta maaf atas segala silap dan salah. Buka kepada soalan kot. Kembali kepada moderator.
Okey, alhamdulillah. So kita dah sampai hujung-hujung ni. So okey, kita ada dua soalan. Okey, ya, saya tengok daripada Zoom, daripada Prof Amin. Prof Amin dia bertanya, bagaimana kita menangani teknologi AI ni dalam kehidupan kita supaya tidak terjerumus ke arah kemungkaran dan perkara yang haram.
Terus respon. Itu
Boleh.
yang saya sebut tadi, antara peranan yang perlu dimainkan ialah policy maker. Pihak-pihak yang memegang kuasa eksekutif ni perlu segera untuk membuat undang-undang yang mengawal akan penggunaan AI ni dalam skop kerja dan kehidupan masyarakat. Jangan sibuk daripada aspek social media saja yang agak dikawal sekarang ni kan. Tapi bagi saya yang perlu dilihat sekarang ni adalah kena foresighting. Kita kena buat foresighting bahawa AI ni akan rapidly berkembang dan kadar perkembangannya akan begitu pantas. Bagi saya policy maker tu, dan kepada pihak berkuasa agama, saya pun minggu lepas saya dah bagi training dah dengan AI kepada beberapa staff JAKIM lah. Dan mereka pun terkejutkan kemampuan AI ni, dan bila saya tunjuk kadang-kadang dapatan pun salah. So mereka pun dah kena ready dah untuk belajar dulu. At least jadi pengguna dulu. Ini setengah mereka bila sebut ChatGPT pun terus tak tahu, itu masalah sikit lah. Itu pandangan saya.
Okey, kita ke soalan seterusnya daripada Encik Syahinoh. Saya rasa Syahinoh ni student daripada UMP juga ni, Doktor. So, Dr. Irfan, saya berpendapat yang UMP menggalakkan dan membenarkan studentnya untuk menggunakan AI, misalnya ChatGPT atau sebagainya, secara menyeluruh sebagai satu medium bagi pembelajaran. Contoh, bantuan dari menyiapkan assignment, pencarian data dan sebagainya. Betul tak, Doktor?
Kalau tengok etik yang dicadangkan oleh UNESCO tadi, memang itu tujuan AI ni digunakan oleh manusia, tapi akhirnya dia kena kembali pada etikanya. Antara etikanya yang dicadangkan adalah proportionate. Kena berkadaran. Janganlah kita buat style dulu kan, kalau kita nak cari bahan kat internet ni. Apakah AI zaman dulu? AI zaman dulu, dia jumpa satu bahan kat internet, dia tekan Ctrl A, lepas tu Ctrl C, Ctrl V, Ctrl S untuk save. Lepas tu yang Cak Ayam ni terus Ctrl P. Tak edit apa langsung, terus Ctrl P. Ini memang Cak Ayam sungguh lah. Jadi itu tidak beretika. Jadi bagi saya memang perlu digunakan, bahkan untuk pelbagai dalam akademia ada macam skop. Contohnya nak buat soalan boleh sekarang pakai AI. Nak buat soalan, nak create plan PDP perancangan dan semamanya. Pasal mesin AI ni, dia punya algoritma ni dah didedahkan dengan maklumat seumpama itu. Cuma again macam kita sebut, akhirnya kita kena double check lah. Kena double check sejauh mana kebenarannya. Macam contohnya saya pernah run beberapa prompt untuk buat artikel mengenai leadership, kepimpinan. Okay. So kadang-kadang ada hasilnya, bila diberikan prompting berbeza, ada hasilnya, dia akan rujuk kepada sumber Syiah. Pasal orang Syiah ni kan dia mementingkan wilayatul faqih kan. Jadi pasal tu penting untuk kita ni jangan ambil sikap yang bermudah-mudahan, wewenang dalam AI ni. Kena ada integriti kita juga, proportionate. Allahuakbar. Minta maaf lah penganjur kalau tidak menepati objektif.
Kita ada last soalan, saya kira ini last soalan. Adakah AI ni salah satu tanda akhir zaman? Di manakah kaitannya mungkin?
Adakah AI ni salah satu tanda akhir zaman? Mungkin jugalah, saya pun tak tahu. Tapi yang pastinya kita ni memang berada pada akhir zaman. Akhir zaman ni, tanda paling pasti akhir zaman ni dah berlaku ialah kelahiran Nabi Muhammad. So kita ni apa sahaja yang berlaku, memang kita berada pada akhir zaman. Cuma tanda semakin dekat itu mungkinlah kita kena tengoklah dalil yang berkaitan dengan asyratus sa'ah terlebih dahulu. Allahuakbar.
Okey, so saya kira yang tu soalan yang terakhir. Saya daripada pihak Sasmet mengucapkan banyak terima kasih kepada Dr. Ahmad Irfan kerana sudi meluangkan masa dan share dengan kita tentang AI dalam Islamic perspektif. So terima kasih Dr. Ahmad Irfan. So moving on to our last session, we will have our closing remarks. Please join me to give a warm welcome to Professor Dr. Ahmad Hassan Kasu to deliver the closing session. So, Prof, are you ready, Prof?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so lastly, the closing session will be given by Professor Dr. Omar Hassan Kasu. He's a professor and consultant at the Faculty of Medicine and Hospital of King Fahd Medical City. We are honored to have a Professor Dr. Omar to recap the key takeaways from our discussions and wrap up the seminar on a meaningful note today. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Prof.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wassalatu wassalam ala Rasulillah. My sisters and brothers, salamullahi alaikum wa rahmatuhu wa barakatuhu. It's a pleasure to be with you this morning here in Riyadh and this afternoon there in Malaysia. Now, I would like to recap what the other speakers have said and then make also a small contribution to this debate on artificial intelligence. Can you please allow me to share?
Yes, you may share the slide, Prof.
But you need to stop your share first. Okay. Now, the previous speakers have done a very good job. I really was impressed by all of them. They approached the topic from various angles and made very good contributions that inshallah will be very useful to all of us. Now, the first speaker approached artificial intelligence from the knowledge or ilm and also spiritual perspective. What he was saying is basically that artificial intelligence is not something we should be afraid of because it cannot replace the human. There are things that the human has that artificial intelligence can never have. So we shouldn't be afraid of this replacing the human. He also talked about the concept of mu'jiza, like the last speaker also talked about mu'jiza, trying to relate artificial intelligence to is it a miracle? It isn't a miracle. Concept of mu'jiza depends on the state of knowledge. Something can be mu'jiza today because there is no way a human being can do it. But at a later stage, it may be possible. So mu'jiza is relative, except those mu'jiza that the Quran said are mu'jiza. But other things from the human perspective are relative. It depends on the level of technological development. Now, the second speaker talked very well and in depth about how we use artificial intelligence in medicine, the advantages and implications in healthcare. He was generally positive about artificial intelligence in medicine, especially in the area of drug discovery. And he saw that there is a good future. He talked about the future perspective of this, that it will continue and will do more things. Now, the third speaker talked about the ethics of artificial intelligence. Is it good? Is it bad? Where is it good? Where is it bad? He also talked about it as an epistemological issue. Now, he related, and this is like the previous first speaker, he related artificial intelligence with the previous prophets, like Sayyidina Sulaiman. Also, the concept of mu'jiza came in his discussion. Basically, what this means is what you may see as impossible or mu'jiza. Mu'jiza means ijaz. You cannot do it. You may look at something as mu'jiza today, but tomorrow it may no longer be mu'jiza because it will be done. So he had a very good discussion of Sayyidina Sulaiman and his interaction with the birds, with the Namel, and also with the Queen of Sheba. He also compared human intelligence with artificial intelligence. This is a very dangerous comparison because a human is a human who makes artificial intelligence. But as I will explain later, this artificial intelligence created by the human could turn out to hurt the human. Could be a big problem. He did also talk about different views of scholars. Scholars are not agreed. Some say it is good, some say it is bad, but the majority say it is useful, but we use it with caution to avoid the darar, to avoid the bad consequences. He tried to explore this human and artificial intelligence interaction using the concepts of aql, intelligence, hawas, sensors, and shu'ur. He did that very well, and this is an area that is going to create the biggest problem because the artificial intelligence is slowly picking up aspects that we consider human. It's learning to behave like a human, to speak like a human, to think like a human. So we don't know where this will end in the future. So Alhamdulillah, Jazallah khair, the previous speakers, they dealt with the topic very well. The only thing I want to add is the concept of taskhir. The word taskhir in various formulations has been repeated in the Quran 33 times. Now, taskhir is the basis of our khilafah. Taskhir means giving the human the power to control everything else in the creation. Because of the power of taskhir, we are able to be khalifa. And we are able also to build a civilization. And Quran talked about this concept a lot. In the past, we didn't pay much attention to it. But now, since our taskhir is being threatened, we need to pay attention. Allahu alladhi sakhar lakum al-bahra litajriya al-fulk fihi bi-amrihi wa litabtaghu min fadli wa la'allakum tashkurun, Surah Al-Jathiyah. وَسَخَرْ لَكُمْ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِقَوْمٍ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ, against Surah Al-Jathiyah. أَلَمْ تَرَوْا أَنَّ اللَّهَ سَخَرْ لَكُمْ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ, Surah Luqman. وَسَخَرْ لَكُمُ الشَّمْسَ وَالْقَمَرَ دَائِبَيْنِ وَسَخَرْ لَكُمُ اللَّيْلَ وَالنَّهَارَ. All of those are verses that emphasize taskhir, that the human is in charge. The problem is that artificial intelligence seems to challenge this. Now, we don't know whether it is challenging or not challenging. There are various views, but that could be the problem. Throughout history, humans have been making tools. We make tools, machines, knives, swords to help us in our taskhir, to enable us control the environment around us. But you will notice that of all Allah's creations, only humans can make tools. Only we can make something to help us do our work. Now, in the past, we knew the performance of the tool in advance. Like when we make a knife, we know that it will cut. And the knife will never perform something that we did not expect. Now, sometimes our tools can perform things we cannot do, like a car engine. It can make a car run faster than a human can ever do. But the difference is we already knew what that could be because we programmed it. We made it to do that. The problem with artificial intelligence is that it can go out of human control or human prediction. It could do things we didn't anticipate, things that we cannot control. So that's where our fear is. Why do we fear loss of tasghir? Because artificial intelligence can learn on its own from the environment. Okay, it can learn, get its own knowledge, make its own decision, independent of the human. And then it can do things. It can produce goods. It can make machines, can produce services. So there is a possibility that we may lose control. And if we lose control of our environment, we are losing tasghir, which is the basis of our khilafah. But to make it worse, maybe the machine could control us. We may end up obeying the machine. So these are very dangerous things that are very frightening. A very small example could be that of khamar. Khamar or alcohol or intoxicants, we do make them. But when we drink them, we lose our voluntary self-control. Something that we make makes us lose our self-control. So the Prophet said, Al-Khamru Ummul Kaba'ir. Intoxicants are the mothers of all big sins because the human loses self-control. Now, Khamr is not as bad as artificial intelligence because in Khamr, you lose your self-control, but Khamr does not order you to do this, to do that, to do that. But artificial intelligence can, in a deliberate way, control the human. So the question is, can we stop artificial intelligence if this happens? By the way, we are just speculating. We don't know. But we need to talk about this possibility because it could occur. At the moment, it has not yet occurred, but it could occur. When we come to medicine, which is the subject of our discussion, is that we have been able throughout history to make tools to control the environment. Okay? And we have been able to make machines and programs to help us in our medical practice. By the way, today is not the first time that physicians depend on computers in medicine. We've been using them all this time. But until now, they were aids to decision. They help us to make decisions because they can analyze data faster. Also, they could help us in some operations because they could be more accurate. So far, that's okay. It's an advantage. The problem is if we lose control and artificial intelligence starts doing what it thinks it should do. When that happens, we'll be losing professional accountability. The doctor is responsible for what happens to the patient. He's responsible, liable for his mistakes. So if there is an error, the physician has got legal liability for the error. And the Prophet said, Man tatabbaba walam yu'raf minhu tibbun fahuwa dhamin. The Prophet said that if a doctor treats with ignorance and causes harm, he is liable. Now, the question is, suppose artificial intelligence makes the diagnosis and makes the operation, and the patient is harmed. Who is liable? Who is responsible before the law? Is it the person who wrote the artificial intelligence program? Or is it the doctor who was around and applied artificial intelligence? So we don't know. This is a big question and it needs to be answered. And I think that our fuqaha and ulama and muftis will continue debating this until inshallah we get clear guidance. I want to end by thanking all of you for being patient to listen to the presentations that we had. It's been a long session, 3 hours, inshallah. But the brothers have made very good contributions. And I think you have a lot of things to think about. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Omar Hassan Kasu, for delivering the key takeaways from our discussions and wrap up the seminar on a meaningful note. However, I would like to ask the participants not to exit the Zoom yet, as we are going to blast the QR code for the MMA apps for medical officers and doctors who is having the MMA apps can open their apps and scan the QR code for the CPD points. And also, please complete the feedback form before you exit the Zoom meetings. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of our seminar on artificial intelligence from medical and Islamic perspective. And I would like to extend my appreciation to our esteemed speakers today and all the participants. As we conclude this seminar, let us carry the knowledge we have gained and the insights we have gathered into our respective field and communities. May we continue to explore the possibilities, overcome challenges, and embrace the benefits of artificial intelligence while staying true to our values and faith. Thank you once again, everyone, for being part of this seminar. May Allah bless us all with success and guide us on a path that leads to a betterment of humanity. Let us close our seminar with Tasbih Kifarah and Surah Al-Asr. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Thank you, everyone. For medical practitioner, you may scan the QR code from MMA apps.